This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way.
Oh!
From the Queen Studios of New York, who will win the Khabib sweepstakes? UFC Fight Night Boise Fight Week. MMA news. Chris Macchi from Triton Fights is live with the MMA-Holes. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. What's up, MMA-Holes? I hope everyone's good, swole, sexy tonight. TGIW to all my friends and family out there that are watching live. Jessie.
Yessie.
How are you today?
I'm fantastic.
No, you are not.
I'm
Wonderful, wonderful.
wonderful, wonderful.
It's not fantastic,
How
fantastic.
are you today?
I'm wonderful, wonderful.
You seem a little tired. I only had to do it because you said it to me one time.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe I'm a little tired, but now we're live and I'm wide awake. You know, as soon as the lights hit, just like how you put that Instagram post together.
Yes.
As soon as the lights
Don't
hit,
tell them.
half these people don't even follow us on Instagram, for God's
So
sakes.
go follow and then you'll know exactly what we're talking about. On at the MMA-Holes.
On at the MMA?
I mean, I meant to say at, but I said on, so I
Yeah.
was like, okay, maybe I can recover and say at, and then it
Follow
didn't
us
work that
at
way.
the MMA-Holes. There we go. On Instagram, you can see what we're talking about over there. When the lights hit, I ignite. I burst into flames, and I am
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. Now, check this out over here. We have this show tonight we're going to try to pack this all into 2 hours. We might even go longer than 2 hours because there's a lot of shit to talk about. And at the 10 o'clock spot, you can see it's 9:11 over here. Oh,
Shame
9:11
on
p.m.
you.
It's not 9:11. It's 9:11
And we live in
p.m.
New York.
Yeah, it's 9:11 p.m. and we at 10 o'clock we will have Chris Macchi from Triton Fights. Now, before we get this show going and flowing, Triton Fights is an awesome organization out of New York. They're playing in Long Island. They have an event in Long Island at the Space Center, Space or whatever the fuck it's called, with Space at Westbury, whatever the fuck it's called, whatever that space is called over there. Yeah, it's the Space. Well, check it out. Triton Fights. Chris Macchi's coming on, and get ready for epicness.
Fat. Fat. Fat.
Cumin.
Fat. Fat.
Oh, epic! Oh my God!
Fat.
You know what? Should we make words up to this song? Now, this is Triton Fights over here. This is their promo video. Okay, hit me with the ones if you want. If you want us to make up some words to the song. What do you think, Jessie?
Sure.
You want it? Okay. Let me know in the chat.
Sure. I had a really good joke, but I was like, no, I'm not going to leave this
Let me know
one.
in the chat if you want us to make up words to Triton Fights over there. Ape Ride, right off the bat with the one over there. I'm scared of too many blacks with jungle haunting music. All right, ready? Jessie, look, all we need was 1-1. I was going to do it anyway. Here we go. Ready? Set. Jessie, you ready?
I'm ready.
You want to make up some words with me?
I'm ready. No, I'm okay. I like to hear your creativity at work.
All right, now, Triton Fights, where Kenshiro, come to Triton Fights this Friday. What the fuck are you doing? It's awesome. Maybe I could get you in as media, and you can get him for free. So, hit me up. You ready?
Ready.
Triton Fights. It's time.
Long Island. The Triton Fights is great. Come to Triton Fights. It's a fun party. Man in a cage. Punch, punch out shirts. Punch, punch, punch. Come see Triton Fights. Dramatic black man. Walking cage. Punch, punch, kick. Punch, punch, kick. Yeah. It's the greatest show on Long Island. Because we punch, kick, punch. gosh! Triton Fights won! Yeah! Yeah!
Back.
Oh!
Back.
Yes,
Back.
yes, hands in air, man on cage. That's right, Triton Fights. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jessie, what did you think about that?
It was
Wonderful.
When Chris Macchi comes on, we should play that back for him. We
Yeah.
should play that part.
well, that's a good idea.
We'd be like, Chris,
Why
what do you
not?
think? We came up with words to the song. What do you think? All right, rate that out of 10. 10 being the greatest song of all time. What do you guys think? All right, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll see it's 9:14 there. Chris Macchi will come on and talk about Triton Fights. You've seen him before, a friend of the show. Weigh-ins it tomorrow, and then on Friday we'll be covering the event. So thank you, Triton Fights, for being so wonderful to us. All right, so
Yes.
let's start off the show with this over here. Now, today, we've been seeing a lot of reports about Khabib. You know,
Yes.
Khabib out there. He's going to be fighting before the year is up. And he said, well, what did he say, Jessie?
He said that if not Conor McGregor or GSP, that he would be willing to look into fighting Dustin Poirier or Eddie Alvarez as a replacement.
Well, all right. So what we decided to do is this. We decided to go on our community tab over here, and that's the MMA-Holes. If you're not following us and subscribe to us, you're a faggot. And yeah. But we went over to the community and we asked the people. Now, they didn't give us enough options over here, right? So we threw a couple of names out there, but you can add a Kevin Lee. You can add, who else? Tony Ferguson. There are so many people you could add onto this list. Who should fight Khabib next? And Khabib seems that he wants to be fighting by the end of the year, all right? Now, listen, if you want my answer, it's very simple. There's only one person that will be fighting Khabib at the end of the year, and it's a guaranteed
Conor
lock.
McGregor.
That's it. And that's why I'm wearing this shirt over here. Right, Connor? That's right. My nipple.
Yeah.
I made this shirt when we first made the channel. It's
great. I love it.
It's a beautiful shirt. But that's why I decided to throw it on tonight.
I'd wear it anywhere.
Yeah, you can wear it to a
I'd wear it
function,
to
formal
church.
function. And yeah. Anyway, this is a limited edition shirt, so don't go to our website and fuck you. All right, but this is what I'm thinking here. Conor McGregor will be fighting Khabib. But I had to do a poll and just make sure from the MMA-Holes, and 78% are agreeing that Conor McGregor is going to be fighting Khabib.
Yes.
But who else would you think would be a good fit? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am just wrong that Conor McGregor's not fighting. And Jessie is agreeing, it looks like, that she thinks Conor's going to be fighting him, correct?
Absolutely. Well, I'm sort of tossed. I'm a little 50-50 right now.
What?
I know.
You're 50-50.
No, I'd love it to be Conor. And I do think that he has a good chance of coming back this year, but we've yet to hear anything in regards to his legal situation. And it doesn't just get wiped away. It doesn't just disappear out of nowhere. You know, that doesn't happen. So until we do hear what is going on, I mean, what can you say?
Well, we do have to wait for that, right? We do have to wait for that. But I have a feeling that that's going to be swept under the rug, a little community service. And if you go over here, this is Triton Fights, but let's go to Conor's IG. Let's see, Notorious, not Nick Newell, Conor McGregor. And my man is very active over here. He has a snakeskin bag. He's looking shredded. The guy is keeping in fantastic shape. And this is not a man that is going to be in trouble with the law. This is a man that's going to fight a Russian or a Dagestanian. This is a man that's about to go to battle. That's this man over here. By the way, real quick, shout out to Conor. Let's see what he says here. Someone said something to him, wise-ass-ish, about his snakeskin bag. It's not here. Fuck, he responded to someone. It's hilarious. He said something like, why do you have to have a snakeskin bag? And he just responds, I got all the snakes. That's what he responds. Yeah, right, Conor? Yeah.
What does that mean?
He has all. I don't know. He just has all the snakes. Only Conor McGregor can get away. Like, if I was walking with a snakeskin bag, and I'm walking around, and someone's like, "Why do you have to have a bag made of snakes?" And I'm like, "Well, I got all the snakes." It doesn't work. But because
I feel like you could pull it off.
Nah, I don't think so. But
no, I think you could.
But Conor,
I think you have that story. Like you didn't say it how you would say it if you were in a situation where you had to be a smartass. Usually, when it calls for you being a smartass, like you have this thing, like you have this way of portraying yourself. I think you could pull it off.
Yeah, I'm an asshole, but Conor McGregor, he's a bad guy. He's a tough guy, right? Look at this. Like if I was in a locker room and my shirt was soaked. And you know this is not sweat. They just threw a bucket of water on him. Stop it. What is going on here? Like, he's acting. He's like, all right, man, let's throw the bucket on me. That's my terrible Conor McGregor impersonation. But like, he's like, okay, time for Instagram. Throw the bucket, Artem. And Artem's like, okay, boss. He throws the fucking bucket on him. This is not sweat. But he's in fantastic shape. He's in Khabib shape. He's ready for the sweepstake. Sweepstakes. He's waiting for the sweepstakes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I say Conor McGregor is going to be the guy.
Stakes.
What do you guys say in the chat? Jessie is saying it's 50-50. And another thing is, you got Eddie Alvarez, you got Dustin Poirier. They're going to go at it with each other. Who do you think is going to win that fight? Do you think GSP has a shot? How about
Poirier.
Kevin Lee jumping into the mix? Kevin Lee. Let's actually, before we go into the chat room, there are 13 comments over here. So let's see, Jessie. What did the peeps say?
Drunk Savage says Conor McGregor. How much you want to bet Dana books this fight the same month as Tito versus Chuck Liddell? Ann H says Conor McGregor, of course. Stewie says Conor McGregor with a chicken emoji. Trisket H says Dustin Poirier. I want to see Conor, but I can't see his first fight back after 2 years being against Khabib, either Ferguson or DP. Roberto Hernandez says Conor McGregor. Khabib versus Conor. LOL. Khabib, quote, he thinks he's tough fighting bus. I fight him anywhere. Same with Conor. I like both. 50-50. Joseph Jimenez says Conor McGregor. A bear. Absolute MMA 101 says Conor McGregor. Conor can't hide, although I'm willing to bet he's training his TKD defense and BJJ very hard to back up all of the shit he's about to talk. Unfortunately, Conor will get worn out by Tiramisu Sabib.
Oh my God, absolute MMA. What do you...
Wonderful, wonderful.
Dark Knight Dummo says Conor McGregor. No El Kukui option. Need this cursed fight to happen. Florida Bear says Dustin Poirier. Tony Ferguson. Derek Romero says Dustin Poirier. Ferguson. Full-time Toilet Cleaner Jr. says Conor McGregor. Squeak, 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 squeak. Michael J says Dustin Poirier. It should be Kevin Lee, but I think he's looking for the easiest fight possible. If he fights Kevin Lee, he loses 100%. Robert Rodriguez says Conor McGregor. It's fucking time to get paid, mate.
All right, so majority say McGregor. Now, to the Ferguson people out there, I mean, I think we could all agree we want to see that fight happen, right? And make sure you get your votes in. 250 votes, 78% in favor of Conor McGregor. All right, so, I mean...
Super chat.
Van Shipman.
Connor's eating eagle eggs for nutrients, NFG.
Yeah, she's chumping on him. I mean, maybe that's what he's doing. Is that how he's getting this big? Thank you, Van Shipman.
I eat eagle eggs for nutrients.
I tell you what, I would chew on an eagle egg if I got into this shape. That'd
Have
be fantastic.
you ever in your life tasted an eagle egg?
Me? Of course.
It's fantastic.
An eagle egg? You've eaten an
It's great.
eagle? Wait, you've actually eaten?
Sure.
No, you're lying. You're a liar. It's fine.
You wouldn't believe me if I
like
kept
an-
a straight face, but I couldn't keep a straight
I'm like,
face.
well, in Arizona, who knows? Maybe an
Yeah.
eagle went down and just like, all right, oh, yum.
No, those are vultures.
Yeah, well, an eagle probably sounds like a vulture, right?
No.
What does an eagle sound like?
What does your vulture think?
Actually, no, an eagle sounds like Medica.
Why did you have to roll your R?
Medica.
That's very American.
You know why I'm rolling my R? Because you want to. Hey guys, you want to see cunt of the day? How about that? Drop cunt in the chat, and I will put cunt of the day. I'll show you the cunt of the day.
Who's the cunt of the day?
Well, it's a surprise. If they drop cunt in the chat, I will show who the cunt
I
of the
want
day
to
is.
know. Why am I not on
Well,
the same page? We're always on the same page.
We have to get a bunch of cunts in the chat, and then I'll say cunt of the day, and I'll show you who the cunt of the day is. Make sure you get your votes in. It's on our community. And lopsided Conor McGregor. Now let's talk about the Ferguson thing. Why don't we want to see Ferguson? Of course, everyone wants to see Tony Ferguson.
Nobody wants to see Ferguson anymore. We're over it.
Wait, hold on a second.
We're over. Forget about it.
If I could tell you, Tony Ferguson, Khabib will happen, and they're both in a bubble. Tony Ferguson's not going to elbow and knee metal plates and poles and shit like that, and they're gonna definitely fight. You wouldn't want to see that fight?
Let me tell you one thing about Tony Ferguson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. It will never, ever, ever happen. 5 times, you're talking. 5 times has this fight attempted to be, or will have attempted to be, laid out. And 5 times, it is shut down. Because of injury, because of weight, because someone's scared. Doesn't matter what the reason is. Tony Ferguson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov will never happen.
Well, that's not a bold prediction.
I know this.
It's not a bold because I mean, let's be honest. Tony Ferguson is a. That's. I mean, let's be honest. I have some anger towards Tony Ferguson, right? I think the guy's fantastic. In fact, I picked him to beat Khabib 2 times. I picked Tony, and the fact that that keeps falling through, and then you see him doing crazy, having this crazy training routine, and then I got yelled at because you don't know how a true professional trains. Like
Who said that?
I'm not gonna say.
I'm curious.
A lot of people
okay,
said it
tell
actually
me.
to me,
Tell
and
me.
I'm not gonna throw him under the bus.
I'm
but
gonna
people have
find
said
out.
it. But the person, one of the people that said it, did apologize to me afterwards, and I didn't gloat. I could have gloated, but I'm a very nice man. I saw a cunt in there. Fuck it. I'm going to show the cunt, by the way. All right, here we go. This is a segment, and we should have a segment every Wednesday, and we do this show every Wednesday. This is TGIW. We should do a segment every Wednesday because usually there's always a cunt in the chat room, and I like to call the cunt out. I like to give the cunt a stage. You know, cunts need a stage, right? Like a stripper, right?
Yeah.
You put the cunt on the stage, and you put the spotlight on the cunt, and you let it go. So this is what I'm going to do. Here we go. Now we go over to the MMA-Holes. You go to the channel. All right.
I know who the cunt is.
All right. So we're going to scroll through over here. Okay. Now we did a live reaction for the Contender Series. Okay. The Contender Series right over here. And it was decent. It was decent stuff. They let 2 guys through. And it was Espinoza and it was Bevon Lewis. And they both deserved to go through. There was another fight over here with a Rick Palacios. Okay.
Palacios.
A Rick Palacios. And no, it's not Pulse. We're not fucking lighting Pulse on fire. Even though he's in a wheelchair. It's fine.
Maybe. We don't know.
We'll roll him off a cliff. But yeah, Rick Palacios. Okay, so now some people stumble across this show and they're like, what? Oh, they're racist. They're so racist over here. We made fun of it. Well, we didn't. Well, we kind of made fun of him. We talked about, you know, maybe his physique and his stance, okay? His stance we were talking about over here. You know, he has the stance. Someone in the chat was a hilarious line, said that he had the taco defending stance or some shit like that. I don't know what it was. Anyway, we made some jokes, and what did I do? I said I picked the guy, and I also said that this man is going to be, when he was walking to the cage, I'm like, he looks like a really nice guy. Why is he not doing the stance, right? I'm like, I'm going to root for this guy, right? Right out the window. They don't see that. They see something else. So now let's go to the video, all right? And feel free to talk to my friend the cunt. All right, let's scroll through, and we'll have Jessie read this because Jessie could speak for her people over here.
Wow!
All right, hold on. Here we go.
Me and 60% of the rest of the chat.
Okay, we're gonna scroll through. We'll review. Let's review a comment live on the MMA-Holes. True 22. This guy, yeah. All right, I'm just gonna accept it. I don't even know what he said, but yeah, none of that. All right, let's go back. We're gonna go back in time.
Back again.
Now, this is a segment called Cunt of the Day. And I don't know. I haven't looked. Maybe someone jumped in on the conversation. And I'm sure someone's like frantically going back to this conversation to try to drop their comment over here. And what is up with this? Show more. Here we go. Okay. Michael Anzalone, the timestamp king. Shout out to Michael Anzalone.
By the way, Michael Anzalone, I did see your video of the lights dropping in the background. Very good job hunting that one down. I'm surprised you even found it in this plethora of videos on
hold on a
this
second.
channel.
Hold on a second. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. He fucking deleted it. He deleted it.
Are
What
you sure
a
it was
fucking
on this
cunt.
video that he did commented?
Oh yeah, it was this one. No worries. Oh, here it is. All right, so he deleted it, but we have it over here. A Johnsky one. So don't worry, buddy. Don't worry, buddy. Let's see if we can go. Fuck, he deleted it from here, but I have it in my notifications, so I'm a little slicker. I'm a little slicker than you, a Johnsky one. Anyway, let's see.
Because he knows he made a fool of himself.
Yeah, this guy's racist against Mexicanos.
Mexicanos.
Let me catch you in person with your shitty accent. So it sucks because you can't see my responses because he deleted it because he's a faggot.
But I saw them.
And I said, you know, settle down, essay. I mean, I don't think that's pretty racist, right? Doesn't matter.
You said 60% of my chat is Mexican, along with my co-host Essay.
Yeah. Okay. So Johnsky comes back and says, "Doesn't matter. That's my boy. You were clowning on for 30 minutes. Be a man and meet up with him. He said he will fly out to any gym near you." So now this guy is telling me that Ricky Palacios wants to fight me. Right?
He's gonna destroy his career with the UFC. to fight a YouTuber.
The fuck? What is he talking about? He's going to fly across the country and challenge a 41-year-old man. All right. Okay. So I said something like, and it sucks because I don't have my response here because it got deleted. What a cunt. What a faggot. Anyway, I come back and say something like he can reach out to me or tell him to come on the show. He can reach out to me at the MMA-Holes.com. And he goes, ha, ha, ha. He can reach out to your website, huh? That's straight bitch move. You can reach him training at a gym.
What gym?
Okay. So anyway, he fucking deleted. I'm so pissed, man. There was more to the conversation.
What a pussy.
He ruined my bit, this piece of shit.
What a pussy.
Anyway, shout out to Ricky Palacios. Come on the show. Your friend got a little triggered. Anyway.
Oh, he was more than triggered, guys. He was saying that this guy was going to literally destroy his career in MMA.
It doesn't bother me. No, it was funny. I'm actually
MMA-Holes.
pissed because I wanted to make it a bit, and the guy deleted it. So it bothers me that he deleted it because I wanted to make it a bit.
Scared.
Sucks.
He's
Anyway,
scared.
shout out to the Cholos out there. Anyway.
Shout out.
I'm so racist. All right. Anyway, we're going to do a couple of topics here. We're going to check out the chat. Let's see who's in the chat right now. Let's see what's going on.
Shout out to the Cholos.
And yeah, let's see what's going on here at 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have our friend Chris Macchi from Triton Fights come on. And if you missed me singing over the song, well, you better run it back. Okay, Jessie, what is going on in the chat? Who's there?
Trisket H says white people aren't... Oh, I missed it. Sorry, Trisket.
Hold on. I'll roll it back. I'll run it back for you.
All right. Says white people aren't allowed to treat other races like people. It's racist. Have to handle them with kid gloves.
Okay.
Okay. Steve
true.
Johnson says, don't delete...
Rap one on one
Really,
shoulder,
Vlad?
I'm gonna rap you on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Jesus Christ.
Fun fact, Nightbot gives a warning for saying nigger but not spick.
So suck it!
You think Nightbot...
Suck it, Palacios friend.
But do you think...
I don't know what his name was.
But no, look what he said. Do you think Nightbot hates Mexicans more than blacks? Do you think Nightbot is more racist towards the Mexican race?
Why would that be the case?
Well, his name is Nightbot, so he's dark.
Anyway,
let's stop that. Thank you, Vlad, for the donation. What else we have in the chat over here?
Two Joints says, this show increases serotonin levels. Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington says, beep. Boneyard Militia, Landrew. David Gallant says, crackhead essays. Anonymous 420 says, no, it doesn't. Cam Newton, 12345, hashtag CamFam, says, I don't care. Vlad says, LMAO. J Smooth, Nightbot, never does its job, smiley face.
It's true.
Trisket H says Palacios, bod inspired by Taco Bell. Wheezing 336 says Nightbot is black. Drunk Savage says Nightbot voted for Trump. Yeah, it is, says Black. J Smooth is laughing at Olympia. Oh shit. Vlad says...
Hold on, jump to Cookie Wise.
Jumping to Cookie Wise. Cookie Wise says, I can recall someone predicted the Mexican by drive-by.
That's true. But that's someone in the chat, and we concur. We reenacted
We thought it was funny.
Yeah, we reenacted.
We did not agree, Cookie Wise.
That was Dots, by the way. Big Dots.
Van Shipman says, El Diablo is mucho sour cream guacamole. Sublime Bud is giving us some weird hand motion.
Okay, thank you for the comments in there. Keep them going. We got 75 people watching. Now, this is what I want to do. I want to talk about topics, but before we go there, we've been running a little bit of a pick'em league, okay? Now, on the MMAHoles.com, we send you over to the pick'em league. And by the way...
I'll tell it!
What?
The fuck was that?
I was going to say I was going to tell it. This is a guy.
Okay. So when you click on the goat, it sends you over to the UFC Pick'em League over here. And I just got to say this. Real, where is it? Real 6321. You won, and you get anything you would like from the MMA Holes merch store. Now reach out to us. You can contact us through the website. You just fill this thing out over here and reach out to us, and we'll get your information, and we'll send you your prize. So stop being a cunt, all right? Stop being a fucking cunt face. So that's that. But let's talk about this. The Pick'em League. UFC, the Pick'em League, well, rest in peace.
It's kaput.
Because check this out, Jessie.
Yes.
I'm gonna zoom in on this. Jessie, read what's in the red. Whoa, whoa, easy.
Calm down.
Easy, UFC. Shit.
All right. Dear fans, after 5 years, UFC Pick'em will be ending its run with UFC 227 on August 4th, 2018. You will still be able to see your scores for the following week. Thank you to the many thousands who play week in and week out. We appreciate your skill and dedication.
What the fuck? Are they fucking kidding me? We got this thing flying. We got 8 pages of knuckleheads in goat milk. And we're picking these fights, having fun. In fact, our fight buddies have been revolving around the Pick'em League, and it's been a lot of fun. It really has. Christian Pale overall has been destroying it over here, and it's just a lot of fun. Now, I don't know the reasoning why UFC is doing this. Maybe it's just too much work for them. I don't know, but they've been doing this for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, they're not even going to go through a full year. They're going to stop it after UFC 227. What the fuck is going on? Ah!
It's time to rant, it's time to rant. Chris is gonna rant and piss people off. It's time to rant, it's time to rant. Get ready for a rant and get pissed off. If you dare, go away. I don't want you here anyway. Chris is gonna rant, Chris is gonna rant. Fuck, 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 shit, fuck, fuck.
UFC, once again, you fuck your fans. You charge us all this money for your stupid cunt pay-per-views. We're paying, what, 60, 70, 80 bucks a month on your stupid pay-per-view, and then $10 for your fight pass. The one thing that you give to your fans for free is a shitty pick'em league over here, and then what do? You take it away from us, and you can't even go a full year? You can't even go a full goddamn year. What? What is going on? Now, this is what I need from the MMA-Holes. I need you to clip this shit right now and send it to the UFC and say, we are not standing for this.
We will not stand.
The one thing you are giving to us, the one thing is the goddamn UFC Pick'em League. And I feel bad because this is the first year I've ever done it. It's the first year I've ever done it. It's a lot of fun. People have been doing this for 5 years. And you're going to take this away from these people pay the pay-per-views. And you can't leave this shit on the website? It's that hard to leave a goddamn UFC Pick'em League on the website? And insult to injury, it stops at UFC 227. You can't even go the entire year? You can't do it? We're halfway through the year. Just finish the fucking year. Why are we stopping? Is there one guy taking care of the Pick'em League? Is it like, all right, Jarvis, your job is to take care of the Pick'em League. He's like, oh, okay. Jarvis got sick and you can't have the Pick'em League anymore? No, there's probably a slew of people. What is going on?
The UFC couldn't make as much revenue as they thought they could make off of it.
According to Dana White, this is one of the biggest years that the UFC has profited, right? They're making a shitload of money.
Clearly not the Pick'em League. That's
they're doing
not part
fantastic, right? Dana White, you're a fucking liar. You're a liar. How dare you take this from the fans? How dare you take this from your fans? What are all these other sports? There's no pay-per-views, right? Football, basketball, hockey, MLB, even that shitty sports soccer. You don't pay for it. It's part of your cable. The UFC is the only sport where not only do we have to pay for an extra service to watch it, but then we have to pay the pay-per-view. And now you're going to take out our Pick'em League.
I have a solution.
Yes.
What if we came up with a way to make the MMA-Holes Pick'em League?
Well, it's funny you say that. This is what I want from you, the audience, okay? We've been brainstorming over here at the MMA-Holes. And on the MMAHoles.com, we are looking to do something special. So
something real special.
What I want from this community, and I know you guys are a bunch of nerds, right? I want a computer fucking nerd, okay? I want someone that knows how to put together and piece together something like this. Because what we're looking to do here is start our own free Pick'em League on the MMAHoles.com. So if you do know how to do that shit, because I don't know how to fucking do that.
I know how to do it.
No, you don't.
I do know how to
do you?
Do it.
Okay, so don't contact us. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous that the UFC, I mean, the one thing that they're giving to the fans, and it's so small, right? They're not making enough money off of this, so they're just going to, I mean, how many clicks are they getting on their website right now? You got to think there's so many people that are part of this Pick'em League. Every time they click on it, they're getting clicks on their website, advertisements, their stats look fantastic, and it's just not enough, right? So what are we going to do? I guarantee if the UFC had a paid Pick'em League, that people would actually pay to do this. That's how much fun people have with this shit. Now, I wouldn't pay because I'm a cheap fuck. But anyway, let's see what the chat has to say about this. How many people are in the Pick'em League? And what do you guys think about this situation? Because we got 20 likes.
20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. I hope the dislikes die of leprosy.
If we hold our own pick'em league, I shit you not, we will be the biggest thing. This could be the worst thing the UFC could have done. Because could you imagine?
Well, it's the best thing for us.
Well, think about it. The UFC shit the bed on this. They take away something that the fans love.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the MMA holes just walk along and be like, thank you. Now,
thank you.
Thank
Dana
you very
White.
much. So my mind is fucking spinning right now. All right, let's see what the chat room says.
Two Joint says, MMA Holes pick'em, Chris. Fook UFC. Do it on your own. Vlad says, sup, bro, Sean Hart. King Your Mother's Ring says, hurry up, nerdlingers. Nerdlingers. Viewing says, ha ha ha. Flat Earth Deacon says, Sean.
Hold on a second. Read Steve Johnston's.
Steve Johnson says, we need...
No. Down lower.
Down lower. Steve Johnson says, they'll do it on ESPN. It's part of the scam.
Bingo! Steve
Bingo!
Johnson. Steve Johnson wins. There you go. Steve Johnson hit the nail on the head, and I didn't even think about that. Good job, Steve. Good job, you motherfucker, you sick fuck, because that's a great point over there. That's exactly what the UFC is doing. 100%. So right now, this is what's happening. Steve Johnson nailed it, because if I'm not mistaken, ESPN already has a pick'em league for the other sports, if I'm not mistaken. So ESPN, in their contract, they're probably like, okay, you get all this traffic to your website from your pick'em league. Well, we're going to want that in part of the deal. Steve Johnson, you're a goddamn genius. Take this and shove it up your ass. All right. Anyway, I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Steve Johnson hit it on
No,
the head.
it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. But we have yet to see it, so we can't just run as if that's happening.
If you're just jumping in, we're talking about this. The UFC Pick'em League, finito after UFC 227. I think Steve Johnson hit it on the head. What do you guys have here?
Viewing says, this will actually be a good thing for the site. UFC has new owners, and they are cheap. Vlad says, call it something else, though, Chris. Don't want the Jews suing you for some copyright type shit.
No, don't be careful. You got to get the Jews after us next. I mean, the Mexicans don't like us now. Now next is the Jews.
It's called Jewing It Up, says Jay Smooth. Steve for President, says Van Shipman. Boneyard Militia says Johnson, ... LOL, ... Jewishes. Stalio2 says, I have had it with the Jews. It's gone too far. Steve Johnston is laughing. Wheezing336 says Steve is the GOAT. Anonymous420 also laughing. Two Joint says Howard Stern. Cookie White says, never heard of this pick'em carry-on. Not be missed. John Jones says, she is hot as fuck. Sticky Ketchup is pointing a gun at candles.
All right, so this is what I want in the chat, and we're going to move on from this topic over here. But let me know in the chat with a smiley face or a sad face what you think about the UFC pick'em. Smiley face if you're like, I don't give a fuck. Sad face if you're actually sad that the UFC is taking away their pick'em league.
I'm a little sad.
I would put a sad face. Actually, no, I wouldn't. And the reason why I wouldn't put is I'm kind of sick of putting in my picks every week. It's too much work.
Well, aside from laziness, I am a little sad because it was fun. It was a fun thing to do with the community. This is something that did bring the community a little closer together, I think, and it does kind of suck, you know, to not have that availability anymore.
It's fucked up. It's a fucked up move.
On the same token, if it would be available to ESPN, I could see us recreating something like that over there.
Hold on, let me play some sad music while we see these emojis come in. All right, get them in. If you're sad about the UFC Pick'em League being dismissed, drop in your sad emojis. If you don't care, give a smiley face. I was going to say smappy face. All right, Isaiah's indifferent. Anonymous is upset. Isaiah Moore, he's fine. He just doesn't know how to feel. No more goat milk. What is their reasoning, says Mark Yahoo. I don't know. Well, I think Steve Johnson hit it on the head. Anonymous is angry. Cookie Wise is laughing. He's fine. NH is very sad. Stalio 2 says Jews with minorities. Was that a money tongue? All right, anyway.
Wonderful.
Okay, let's do a couple of topics. Chris Macchi will be coming on at 10 p.m. And let's move on. We spoke about this at the beginning of the show, and we will go back to this at the end of the show. We'll be taking some phone calls. But Khabib, who is next? The MMA Holes have a poll.
A poll?
A poll.
Wonderful.
On the community over here, 77% say that McNugget will get the fight against Khabib. 6% Holloway, 4% Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, 8, GSP 6, Kevin Lee, and Tony Ferguson. They didn't fit on the list, but me personally, I think they're at the bottom, unfortunately. I mean, Kevin Lee deserves it, right? And so does Tony. But I think these names would be higher on the chances to get the sweepstakes. All right, Jessie, let's get a couple of topics in, and we'll take you to Triton fights. What is in the news?
So, expanding a little bit on the whole Khabib, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier kind of thing going on there. With Khabib's quote, exactly what he said. He said, if not Conor, if not GSP, I think Alvarez versus Poirier, I think the winner deserves a title shot. Not just he would fight them. He thinks that they legitimately deserve a title shot. So Alvarez and Poirier are set to rematch at UFC on Fox 30 on July 28th, which is the end of this month, guys. So make sure that you watch it. And then I think Khabib's going to have his eyes set on that one. I think Khabib has the same sort of mentality. I don't think he thinks that Conor is coming back at the end of the year, which he has to come up with a new solution for that.
You know, it's funny, and we're discussing this whole Khabib thing. Khabib is definitely going to be fighting at the end of the year. It's a matter of who. But I forgot to put one person on here. And I've noticed that no one brought him up. I saw Nate Diaz. That's another one you could throw in there, but I think he would be low on the list. That just doesn't make any sense. But I forgot to put someone that I can't even believe this. I actually feel like I should shut down the show right now because I just realized I forgot to put someone on this list that is a goddamn lock to fight Khabib. Jessie, could you think who it is? Take a think. Take a think. Take a think. Yes.
That is a lock
It's
to
a
fight
lock.
Khabib.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe I didn't put it on the poll.
Is this a smart ass question?
Jessie, who is missing from the list? Take your guess.
Who is
right
it?
now because I forgot to put someone on this list because I had a brain fart. Excuse. Up there it is.
Wonderful.
Artem Lobov. I was waiting for a Cookie Wise
Really?
drops it. I should have put Lobov. Yep. Why is Lobov not on the list, right? I mean, that's a lock. Artem versus Khabib is a lock. That's a fight. That's the money fight.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Artem Lobov is the fucking GOAT.
To you.
No. Look at the chat room. You look at this chat room over here.
Yeah.
Right? What do you guys say? Hit me with the ones if you want Artem Lobov versus Khabib at the end of the year. I want him
You'd
there.
want to see Artem versus... So, of everyone else, you would rather see Artem over everyone else?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I'm curious. I'm curious
I mean,
where
Artem,
your
look at his
thought
record.
process is going.
Look at his record. His record speaks for itself. His physique and his stature. His trash talking. I think Artem... Look, they want Artem. Right?
Well, maybe it could be Artem.
All right.
I'm just curious.
What is next in the topics? Lord Lobov versus Khabib.
All right. Alexander Gustafsson on Daniel Cormier says he can either fight me or let the belt go. For those of you guys who don't know and are living under a rock, Daniel Cormier did win to Stipe Miocic for UFC 226 and is now a double champ for the UFC, a both heavyweight and light heavyweight title holder. But Alexander Gustafsson is very eager to jump into the octagon again with Daniel Cormier for a rematch and for the title.
Okay.
But Daniel Cormier, he has that mentality. He is the champ. He gets to choose. Gustafsson
All right. So
doesn't get to choose.
Gustafsson, sit down, son. Sit down, son. Now, that was a fantastic fight between the two of them, and John Jones versus Gustafsson was one of the greatest fights of all time, right? Fantastic fight over there. But Alex, enough. You're not fighting Daniel Cormier. Let's be honest here, all right? So just shut your fucking Swedish mouth,
Well,
right?
Cormier did say Gustafsson has to do something spectacular
Like, he's not fighting him.
because...
It's not happening. Yeah, and Cormier even said that Gustafsson has a huge following, and he made peanuts for that fight. Peanuts for that fight. And Gustafsson does have a big following, but for some reason, no one gave a fuck about that fight. It was a good fight. A war. These two's faces were rearranged. But come on. We know it's going to... Daniel Cormier, 39 years old. The guy wants to get paid, and I cannot blame him. I can't... When you look at his career, I don't blame the man for wanting to get paid. So, Gustafsson, good job with trying to keep your name relevant, but shut the fuck up.
And you got to think, too, if you're in Daniel Cormier's position, you want the money fight. You want the big fight, the one that everybody's going to want to pay for and watch. Lesnar, there are people, I would pay for Lesnar before I paid for Gustafsson. DC versus Lesnar, I pay for it instantly.
Listen, is it the fight that's supposed to happen? No, right? DC versus Lesnar.
But it's more entertaining.
There's no reason for the fight, but come on. What is the UFC doing right now? They're getting rid of the Pick'em League, right? They're getting rid of the Pick'em League.
Bringing Brock Lesnar.
because of guys like Gustafsson, right? That's why they're getting rid of the Pick'em League, because Gustafsson can't bring in pay-per-view numbers. So because of this is I'm gonna blame this on Gustafsson. If Gustafsson fucking got some ratings and Tony Ferguson, this is Gustafsson and Tony Ferguson's fault right here. So I want everyone in the chat to realize what happened here. All right, fucking unbelievable stuff. But anyway, he's trying. He's trying to keep his name relevant. All right, what else we got in the news?
What's in the news? UFC Fight Night is this Saturday. Santos versus Ivanov. No news there. Just letting everybody know. Make sure you tune in because we will be doing Fight Buddies.
How about this poster though? It's like UFC Fight Night, Boise. It's like a show tune. UFC Fight Night, Boise.
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder, I'm gonna wrap you on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take their belts off me.
I just wanted to do that.
I lost to both champions and fought once in 10 years, but I deserve an interim title OR. Shot at the actual title, a GUSTOVES son. P.S. Chris, nobody can call you racist. You have a half Mexican CO host, so you're in by default.
Thank you, Vlad.
You're in by default.
And it's funny. I actually used that.
He
I used that in the
excuse.
argument.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I actually said to him, I'm like, 60% of the audience is
you know what's
Mexican.
Funny, though? Is that's not the only time I feel like that's. Anytime someone uses racism against him, it's like, well, I've got this co-host here.
Well, Howard Stern has Robin, who is the black co-host, right? And he just makes fun of black people, right? So she's not black. So what do? She's half Mexican, right?
So make fun of Mexicans.
So we're going to make fun of the Mexican people, right? So Irish, Italian, Mexican, and then she's a medley of other things, too. We cover a lot of ground. I'm Sicilian, so we can make fun of black people there, right?
Well, it's only, what, 2% Sicilian?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter a little bit.
It's enough. I can do whatever I want.
It doesn't make sense.
Anyway, let's talk about this poster over here, right? Okay, so nothing says Boise like Dos Santos, right? Nothing says Boise like Blagoy Ivanov and Junior Dos Santos. You're welcome, Boise. You're welcome. Now, I mean, it's going to be a good fight, but it's bizarre. What the fuck? Boise. Like, that's going to make people want to give a fuck, right? It's like, oh my God, it's in Boise? Let me stop everything that I'm doing. It's in Boise. Anyway, so what is the story on this? It's just happening. It's just happening this weekend.
Yeah, it's just there. It's just letting everyone know. Make sure you tune in because we're going to be doing a Fight Buddies on it Saturday, July 14th. Make sure you tune in.
See, Jay Smooth knows Sicilian people are guinea wops. So close enough. All right. So let's look at this card that's this weekend. And I took a peek at it. And Chris Macchi's checking the email, so Chris will be in the show very shortly. Let's see. So I look at this card very quick. And I tell you what, another good fight night. Another good fight night. We're probably going to be starting off with the Elkins fight. And why isn't Elkins?
The damage.
Elkins has like this like legendary status. Like he should be on a main card by now, right? Don't we all agree? This kid needs to be on a main.
He's too goofy.
He made Joe Rogan cry, for God's sakes.
Wait, how did he make Joe Rogan cry?
See, there you go. He made him cry. He made Joe Rogan cry. And it's funny, the same thing that Joe Rogan cried about. If you watch our Fight Buddies, I actually called him Short Bus. I was literally calling the fight as Short Bus. One of the greatest comebacks ever. Darren Elkins. I'm like, Short Bus. Michael Anzalone, find that clip. But let's be honest, Darren Elkins is a little bit of a legend here, right?
So can you tell me this real quick? How did he make Joe Rogan cry?
How did he make Joe Rogan cry?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the comeback. And Joe Rogan was like, it was like one of the greatest comebacks ever. Yeah, it was. Joe Rogan's very emotional.
Yeah,
all right.
he's like a woman, that one.
This Eddie Weiland, all right? I remember when I was just getting into the UFC, and I saw this guy. I'm like, this guy's a badass. He doesn't really fight much, but he puts on a show, right? And this one versus Perez is going to be a damn good fight. Cat Zingano. Cat, I'm telling you right now.
What was that?
Cat's about to get fucked up. I'm telling you right now. Cat Zingano is going to catch a beating. She's going to catch a beating. Marion Renault.
You think so?
And I can't wait to watch that. And I like Cat Zingano. I follow her. She seems like a sweet girl, but she's going to catch a beating. This is
Chad Mendes.
Chad Money Mendes coming back. Money Steroid Mendes. He's eating all that deer meat, and he's going to fight Miles Jury. And talk about a fucking different size over here. You got long lanky versus short stocky. It should be a good one. Randy Brown, some pop in the hands versus Nico Price. Another banger right there. 10-2-0, 11-1-0. Good fucking fight. Dennis Bermudez. Well, he hasn't been looking that great as of late, and they put him against Rick Glenn. All right, it's going to be a good... Dennis Bermudez always puts on a show. He's always in a good fight, a war. Sage Northcutt getting the co-main event of the evening versus Zach Otow. Holy motherfucking shit. All right, let's see a fight. And we got Dos Santos versus Blagoy Ivanov. Now, Jesse, I know you were looking into this Ivanov kid.
I was.
What are your thoughts on this guy?
He's interesting, this guy. He's got... It's almost like a DC remake. He's got almost every win on his record except for 1 no contest and 1 loss. Only 3 decisions, and he has a lot of fights under his belt. Only 3 of them were decisions. The rest of them all finishes, submissions, whatever it is. All of them finished. This guy, I'm telling you, if he beats Junior Dos Santos, it would not be a surprising win.
It is impressive. You look at the guys in Russia, this guy's a fucking savage. He's been destroying it, but he's fighting a Junior Dos Santos, former champion, badass himself. We got a good fight here. We got a good main event. The card itself is really, it really is for a fight night. It's so good that I'm going to go to my nephew's birthday party, right? My fucking godson. And I'm going to go to the birthday party, leave to hang out with you assholes.
Yes, what the fuck?
Could you believe that? That's dedication. That is fucking dedication right there. That I'm literally going to go to my godchild's birthday party and play with Mickey, give Mickey a fucking hand. Just, woo! Hey, Mickey, happy birthday, nephew. Woo!
Okay, no, you can't say happy birthday, nephew, and then do
no,
that
not,
right
oh yeah,
after.
not my nephew. That's not to my nephew. Well, my nephew doesn't sound like Mickey. Not well, me. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so I'm literally gonna be leaving that and going over to this do this fight buddies over here. I can't wait for that shit. Junior, I tell you what, this for a fight night, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. So let me know.
Kids for food.
What are they saying in the chat?
Steve Johnson says sell the kids for food.
Oh, hey, whoa, feels good.
Fat.
Oh, hey, boys and girls. Oh, yes. I don't know why he's quivering. Well, actually,
you always make him quiver.
Well, think about it. When if Mickey were to get a hand job, right? If someone was spanking Mickey, I mean, you gotta think he wouldn't be able to hold his composure, right? So he'd be like, oh. Hold on, let's see. Let's go like this. Let's go over here. Creepy, MIKE PERRY MOUSE. All right, so here we go. Oh wow,
what the fuck?
All right, so these are pretty creepy. All right, hold on a second. All right, let's see. Wow, is there blood on him? I guess that's really creepy. Here's him after a foul. That's Mickey after you give him a hand job at a kid's party.
What the fuck?
The cumin.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. All right, we're going to get Chris Macchi in here from Triton Fights. There's an event this Friday, Triton Fights. You can go check them out. Oh, that's Conor McGregor.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa, easy, Jesse.
I wasn't.
Easy. She got that Irish fever. Triton Fights. It's at Triton Fights. And you can check out their Instagram over here. There's their video again. Should I sing over it again? What do you think?
Yes.
Actually,
watch him pop in as you're singing.
All right, Jesse,
it.
this is what I want you to do. I want you to sing this time. Ready?
No.
Yeah, I sang the first time.
What am I going to sing?
Oh, by the way, they have a show going on. It's called Fight Life. There's a reality show that's covering Triton Fights. They're going to be at the weigh-ins tomorrow, and the MMA-Holes will be in this reality show. So there you go. Triton Fights over there. Chris Macchi will be coming on shortly. Here's the event. Live Championship MMA Friday, July 13th at 6 p.m. Go check it out. It's at the Space. Gareth Hornell, Ryan Jarena, who I had on the MMA-Holes. Real cool dude. This kid is a stud, and he's going to be a player down the road. I think he's the main event. I'm going to find out from Chris. But watch out for this kid. Ryan Jarena, welterweight. This dude is a savage. Someone to look out for. And that's why I like going to these local events, because you never know what kind of stud's going to be coming out. And he looks like he's the guy. He's the guy I had it on the show, and I asked him if he was Irish, and he's like, no, Puerto Rican. I was like, oh, well, I'm off. I'm off. Yeah. Forehead Promotions, says Vlad. Don't worry. Save your donations, because he'll be coming on shortly, and I'm sure you'll be having some very intelligent things to say to him. All right.
Oh, this would be a perfect time. and I know Vlad is probably going to be one of the ones to drop in during this interview, would be a perfect time to use the evil donation and be as evil as possible.
The evil donation. Well, yeah. You could only, the only time I want you to use the evil donation, and that is our new donation, the 666 donation, link in the description, is if you're going to say something really bad. Like Pulse, if you would have said use the evil donation, we would have let it slide.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we would have let it slide.
Okay, but I'm just saying, during interviews, they're usually pretty fucking evil during an interview. Like, they're pretty bad. So if you guys want to be that cringy, I'm just saying, the evil, is it not a good one to use?
So, yeah, it is a good one.
It's a great one to use.
It's quick, it's to the point, and it's cringy.
It's evil.
And a lot of people are like, Chris, why are you not having more interviews on the show? And honestly, I've slowed down on that because I don't want to die, right? I don't want to die. And the guests that we have on, I want to make sure it's the proper guests for the show because a lot of people don't understand how this works. They come on here and like, what is going on? You're taking money and people are making fun of me. And yeah, that's kind of what's happening. But we need to make it clear to our guests that it's all in good fun. Like, we're not trying to tarnish someone's reputation. We're here to just be cringy and give you a spotlight, but at the same time, tear you down and fucking throw stones at you. Real classy show, right? And speaking of classy, I should try to get Nick back on before the Contender Series. But, I mean...
Oh, Nick Knoll.
You think I burned that... I mean, we're cool. But maybe I burnt that bridge the last time.
I mean, at the last event, he walked up to us.
Yeah, no, we're good. Me and Nick are good. But when it comes to the show...
I'm sure
you can call it trash.
You have to remember, this guy fucking lived his whole life with one arm. He has to have a defense mechanism, you know?
Wait, hold on a second. You're telling me that Nick Newell has one arm?
No. You didn't know this?
My mind's fucking blown. It's absolutely blown. All right, Chris.
Super chat.
Super chat coming in.
DC becoming the champ is huge motivation for Conor to come back and do something just as good. UFC is in an excellent place right now.
I would think so. I would think so too. Thank you, Shen Wood. That was a generous donation. Appreciate it.
Make a good point, but I don't think... I don't know. I feel that it's a completely heavyweight. Conor's never fighting a heavyweight. This is a completely different weight class, you know?
What are you talking about?
DC becoming champ. Listen to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Champ.
Yeah.
Is a huge motivation for Conor to come back. Why would that be a motivation?
But no, not a heavyweight. That's not what he's saying.
But why would it be a motivation?
Well, Jesse, hold on a second. Let me just check something real quick. Hold on.
No.
I just want to check something.
No.
I just want to see if there's any blonde underneath that brunette hair.
Thank you.
Coming at it. It's not fighting a heavyweight.
I never said he was fighting a heavyweight. I'm asking why that would be a motivation. So thank you.
I'm not rewinding it. I am not playing it back. Now, hold on. Let's get Chris Macchi on the show. Hold on a second. All right. So I'm going to send him the Hangouts link. He's saying he's having some problems with the Hangouts link. We got to get him back on over here. So, okay. All right. Talk to JBH as I am trying to get Chris onto the show. It says unable. Hold on a second. Oh,
yes, Isaiah Moore. I have blonde roots.
I sent out here. So read out the chat. Let's see what's going on in this chat room while I try to get our guest on the show.
Bino says, in Long Island, you get in free if you bring your own oxys. Yes.
It's true.
King Your Brother's Ring says, who? Steve Johnson says, give me them. Two Join says, LOL, watch Conor have to do time. Who's fucking gonna fight Khabib then? Ha 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 ha. Jen Wood says, Conor is not going to fight DC. Maybe he thinks he needs a belt at 3rd Division. Ben Shipman says, I want nachos. JBH. Okay, I'll make you some. Two Joints says, Mackenzie Dern is the shape of oxes. Jay Smooth says, Kenshiro Ryu, he's purposely not taking calls during interviews in the past due to the damage I cause. This is true, Jay Smooth. James Merritt says, love you guys. Love you, James Merritt. Steve Johnson says, die, trannies. Die. Flat Earth Deacon says, smash that like button, fam. Ann H. Fix your cameras, guys. Please. What's wrong with our camera, Ann H? Drunk Savage says, do you read this, or don't you read this, JBH? Too late, Drunk Savage. Van Shipman says, yes. Kenshiro Ryu says, J Smooth, I didn't know pro fighters were such weak feelings. Cookie Wise says, Conor is the king. Thank him. Two Joints says, love this show. We love you, Two Joints. Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington says, dumb and Chris show. Thank you, Gary.
What the fuck? All right, so I'm trying to get Chris Macchi on the show. He says the link doesn't work, but we tested it, and the link does work. I have Google Hangouts. I click the link. Oh, my goodness. This is why
He has to click join after he clicks the link.
click. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, Jess, could you talk to him? Join after. Just give him a shot. All right, so we are trying to get Chris on the show right now, and of course, so what I like to do is have guests on, make sure we get the technical difficulties ironed out before the show, but he was running a little bit late, so we're like, okay, come on in, and here we go. So hopefully we can get Chris on here, talk about Triton fights this weekend, this Friday, I should say. And the thing that's good about Triton fights is this. We have a fight card. Well,
super
now and later.
chat.
Was up when Holes baby shower, great couple you make, okay, sign.
What? What's up when Holes baby shower, great couple you make.
Why do we need a baby shower now and later? You're already born.
That's true. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Thank you now and later. The baby shower will be this Friday at Triton Fights. Okay, so we're just trying to get Chris in over here. So what I was trying to say is this. This Friday, there's going to be no Fuqua Friday. This Friday, we will be covering Triton Fights. So we'll be doing that. And what's good about these local promotions is CES is on like Thursdays and Fridays is Triton Fights, or vice versa. You don't have to ruin your UFC night. You can still watch your fights. Unfortunately, some organizations go against the UFC, but thankfully, Triton Fights is courteous enough to actually not go against UFC.
Link?
What's that?
Can you maybe open up a new link?
All right, so I'm going to try to get Chris back on over here. All right, so yeah, Triton Fights is this Friday. All right, so Jesse, we're going to try to be sending out one more link over here to get him on. If not, we'll talk to him tomorrow. I don't have time for this shit. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing over here. All right. So as I do that, Jesse, what's going on in the chat room over there?
Van Shipman says, what?
So you know what, Jess? Actually, you know what we can do here is maybe you can discuss on what else is in the news.
What's in the news? Cormier says that weight cuts are quote-unquote brutalizing. So Daniel Cormier, who fought at UFC 226, fought the heavyweight division this time, when usually in the past he has been fighting at light heavyweight, which means he had to make a brutalizing weight cut, as he put it. He says that when he was fighting at heavyweight, he did not have as many problems when it came to recovery before the fight. He felt fantastic. He was ready to get into the octagon, fight Stipe. He thinks it aided him in his ability to win at UFC 226. He said, quote, "It means everything, man. For a guy who was almost like right on the cusp but never was able to push through, if you just keep trying and just keep working, keep getting better, keep pushing for goal after goal after goal. If you fail at something, just keep trying and keep giving yourself opportunities to do something special. And I did that and did that and did that. And eventually I got it done. It's an amazing feeling." When he said that the weight cuts were brutalizing, this is important because so many people at the moment are on this huge hype, this huge bandwagon about whether or not fighters should undergo weight cuts for early weigh-ins and given the extra time
that is going on. All right, reconnected. Go ahead, Jess. Sorry about that. OBS.
Thank you, OBS. You are wonderful, wonderful. Van Shipman says he ate a shitload of chicken for his weight cut. Cookie White says DC ass weights 150 alone. Dan Flynn says Darren Elkins is an animal. Two Joints. Roy Nelson is Willie Nelson's nephew. Okay. Olympia Lowlife says Jay Smooth, bro, the chat is so chill now compared to the Wild West days. Isaiah Moore says, oh, we have a guest.
All right. Here we go. We got a guest live on the MMA-Holes. All right. We got you in like Flynn. Chris Macchi, welcome to the show, my man.
What's going on, big guy?
All right. Now you're live here with JBH in studio. I'm going to put your mic
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
All right. So, Chris, we have a big event.
I look Spanish, but I really don't speak any Spanish. I'm about as Spanish as a cheeseburger.
Spanish as a cheeseburger. All right, Chris, how's it going today, man? I'm sure it's pretty busy this week.
Oh, dude, I don't know how my brain is not leaking out of my ears yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Now, you have the weigh-ins tomorrow, and on Friday is the big epic night. Triton Fights will be back at the Space correct? July 13th.
250 Post Avenue, Westbury, Long Island.
Good stuff over there. Now, first of all, we are on Instagram. We're checking out what's going on Instagram over here. We're scrolling through the card, and it looks like you have a lot of fucking good fights over here, some good matchups over here. What can we look out for this Friday?
You can, I'd say, look out definitely for Ryan Jarina again. I mean, he dismantled the 6-0 Austin Wolfson his last fight. Dismantled him in under a minute. You know, so you can definitely look out for him against Caleb Hall. Caleb Hall is coming out of Watertown, 7 hours away from the venue. One of the top guys in upstate New York. So I'm really excited about that fight. I really think that this is the fight that's going to test Ryan. I spoke to Ryan last week. He's not batting an eyelash. He's not sweating at all. I think he said, if I can quote him correctly, he said, "I'm going to stand in the center of the cage and crack his nose through the back of his face." He said.
This kid is tough, huh? We spoke about him before you came on, and I was like, man, he left some impression. I was thinking about your last card, and the person that stuck out was Ryan Jarina. Quick work, confident, poised, and a real nice guy outside of the cage as well.
Yeah, he's super spiritual. You wouldn't even think, I guess from the outside of it, you wouldn't think that he's like that, but he's actually very in tune with the mental game more so than the physical game of MMA. And that's, I think, something that's very slept on because, you know, any real fighter knows that it's 90% mental and 10% physical.
We got Chris Macchi live on the MMA-Holes Triton fights this weekend, or Friday, July 13th. The weigh-ins are tomorrow. Now, I want to talk about this before we get back into this card. What is going on here? I see you at Tiger Life. You're prancing around New York like Big Cheese, and you have cameras following you around. And it looks to me that you're going to be the next Flavor of Love. Like, what is going on over here, Chris?
Flavor of Love, yeah, something like that, bro. Actually, it's actually ironic that you picked that reality show to actually talk about because we're shooting a reality show basically. The name of the reality show is Fight Life. It follows around fighters like Ryan Jarina. We have Eric Taylor. We have Andrew Stock, 155-pound, one of the 155-pound top guys in New York. Paul Timothy as well. And we're going to switch out the fighters, you know, as the season progresses. But it follows, you know, myself, my partner Nick Canobio, and Frank Lopiccolo from Tiger Life, the owner of Tiger Life Energy, and Tiger Life Entertainment. It follows us around, kind of building the show, showing the audience the infrastructure, how we do things from an inside perspective, our relationship with the fighters' relationship with us, and also we're highlighting some really cool local businesses. To give you an example, we stopped at Virtual Realms in Hicksville. It's a VR arcade. We had the fighters come in. They played some of the arcade games. It was really, really funny. So definitely look out for the sizzle reel that'll be out soon. Then we're going to produce the pilot. And ironically enough, you said Flavor of Love. We actually have the producer of Flavor of Love out in LA that's interested in the pilot. So, you know, as soon as we wrap all this, you know, because we're going to film at the show, as soon as we wrap all it up together, put it in a nice package, we'll be sending it out to LA, you know, and hopefully get some
it's time to get cringy.
Hold on a second. A donation coming in. Hold on. Uh-oh. Chris Macchi, look out. A donation.
Why is this Gary Busey teeth having ass chin strap tryhard hiding his LeBron hairline? That's gotta be a costume hat to hide all that forehead. They probably charge this nigga for having to use extra material, not Vlad.
Now
whoever said that's fucking hilarious.
So is that a special hat that they had to make for your head, according to T-Man jumping in? I don't know. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Now I see you have a lovely guest on the couch with you. Who we got over here?
Oh, this will be the cocktail waitress, actually. She'll be serving you all the drinks, Miss Ivy Cantos.
Mm-hmm. Now the thing that comes in mind is milk. Are those real?
Are these real? Are they real?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Real.
Holy shit. So it's like that. Look at that. Jessie, what do you think about that?
No comment.
All right, so the cocktail waitress goes around, and there's your tip. All right, so that's another reason to go to Triton Fight, right? You got beautiful ladies walking around with drinks. I mean, how could it go wrong?
Always. always, man.
All right, so
that's over here, man.
I want to talk about this reality show a little bit more here now. The UFC is winding down with the Tough, right? Tough is kind of run its course. Now they have the Contender Series, but there's no real MMA reality show. So who came up with this idea over here? And I think it's a fantastic idea. These people want to see something interesting. They want to see how these fighters get into their camps, what happens in their camps, what's behind the scenes of these organizations. I think it's a brilliant idea. Who came up with this, and what was the inspiration for this?
I mean, so basically, you know, because we're amateur, and I hate using that word, but because we're amateur, I was always looking for a format where we can highlight an amateur fighter and make him a star, because it's really hard to get general public into an amateur MMA show. You know, a lot of times your ticket sales are directly reflective of that fighter's fan base, you know, whether it be his family, his cousins, his distant cousins, whatever the situation is. He's selling tickets directly to people that he knows. And from a business perspective, that can be very uneasy. It can be very unstable, you know, to rely so much on the amateur fighter. So coming into you know, the promotion side of it, coming away from fighting and competing, I was always looking. I looked at the market and I said, what way can we highlight an amateur fighter before anybody knows who they are? And the only real way to do it, you know, is through reality television. I felt like reality television. If you look at the format that Jersey Shore, you know, followed, or Flavor of Love, I mean, nobody knew any of these girls before that. You know, nobody knew who Snooki was before Jersey Shore. You know, a lot of the people on Love and Hip Hop, even though they're stars, they're B-list celebrities that not even a lot of people know about them either until that show. And that kind of propelled their career to the next level. So for me, it was a gold mine, because I thought in my mind that, you know, you use that format, you can create a star from the inside, and then, you know, propel them to the next level, and, you know, and it would increase the ticket sales and the value of the company. So that was kind of my, you know, my thought process when I brought it to my partner, Nick Canobio. Now, Nick Canobio also has, he has experience in TV. He works for HBO. His father owns CompuBox. You know, so he's been in combat sports and TV for a very long time. And Frank LaPiccolo has a lot of contacts in LA, the owner of Tiger Life. So it just really made sense to bring those pieces together and produce a really cool reality show. I don't think that anyone has ever shown the perspective of the promoter. I mean, there's been Dana White looking for a fight, which was great in its own way. But we're not trying to be looking for a fight, and we're also not trying to be, you know, a tough. We're trying to be from the perspective of the promoter and kind of tie in the relationship that the fighters have with the promoters. And I don't think that they've ever actually seen that side of it. You know, so I definitely was just trying to highlight that other facet of this business.
We have Chris Macchi live on the MMA-Holes Triton Fights matchmaker. Let me know in the chat if you will watch this reality show. I know I'm going to watch it, and fuck, man, I think it's a great idea. I really do. I'm surprised that we haven't seen this happen already. You know, the UFC has kind of cornered the market when it comes to the outside of MMA stuff. So it's really interesting to see behind-the-scenes stuff over here. Now, there is an event this weekend on July 13th. What is the fight to look out for? Is it the Ryan Jarena fight, or is there something else special to look out for in this card?
I mean, dude, I mean, don't sleep on the 125-pound fight either. I mean, Brandon Escobar, 2010, I believe, Olympian, fighting Grant Coble out of Renzo Gracie, New York City. You know, so that's a top-level fight right there. You know, you're talking about an Olympian in the cage. You know, and then you know, you have Andrew Stock versus Paul Timothy. Last time Paul Timothy was in my cage, he knocked his opponent out in I believe it was 17 seconds of the first round. It was one of the most vicious head kicks I've ever seen in MMA in general, not just amateur MMA, but in any type of combat sports. The kid was on the floor for about, I'd say, literally 10 minutes. You know, some people thought he wasn't going to get back up. He was stretchered out. I mean, you know, Paul Timothy's leg kicks and head kicks are one for the ages, and he's definitely a worthy adversary for Andrew Stock. Andrew Stock is a high-level, I believe, D2 wrestler. You know, he's no joke as well out of Long Island MMA. You know, you got guys like Rick LaFleur over there. You got guys like Hugh McKenna, you know, John Gotti. You know, so you got some big names out of Long Island MMA that he's training with consistently. You know, and I do want to pedal back a little bit as far as like the reality show, because that's something that's new that we're bringing to the table. You know, another facet is it's not just going to be MMA. You know, you're going to see, you know, sides of myself. You're going to see sides of my partner. You know, you're going to see his home life. My partner is a very homebody. You know, he has two little kids, and you're going to see, you know, a businessman with 2 children and a wife trying to, you know, juggle the responsibilities of running a fight promotion. And, you know, my partner's a, you know, a religious fellow. You know, he goes to church every Sunday, and it's kind of a different dynamic when you're seeing a guy like that, you know, promote cage fights. You know, and you're going to see, you know, sides of me, you know, as far as my nightlife, you know, anything that I'm involved with, there's going to be a lot of champagne, there's going to be a lot of diamonds, you know me personally. So it's always going to be blingy. It's always going to be flashy, man.
Is there a lot of humor infused into this? Is there a lot of shit talking and stuff?
Dude, it's almost too much, man.
Really?
I mean, I'll give you an example. We shot that VR scene, and you know, these guys are rough and tough MMA fighters. They put the VR goggles on, and one of the games is you have to walk on a plank, and basically you have the choice to jump off the plank, and you're about 500 stories up in the air. It's like a huge building, basically. And these guys turned into little girls when they jumped off that plank. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so it was funny, man.
It's so funny how tough these guys are, and you know, they're human beings like everyone else. People forget that when they see them inside the cage. Now we have Chris Macchi live on the MMA-Holes matchmaker Triton Fights reality show coming up really quickly. God, man, what this reality show? I'm gonna be glued to it. I can't wait to see this reality show. Are they gonna be there tomorrow for the weigh-ins?
Dude, they're filming the weigh-ins, and they're filming, you know, night of. You know, I'm gonna get the MMAs on MMA-Holes on cameraman for the show, man. You guys have showed me love since day one, and I'm a very loyal guy. I know I got a big forehead, and I don't really trust guys with big foreheads, but you know, I'm a very loyal guy, and I'll always, you know, I'll always remember who had my back. You know. Well,
for sure. I can't wait to cause a scene on that reality show. We're definitely gonna do something horrible. So let's talk about this now. You spoke about Gotti before, and if people live under a rock, John Gotti fought for Triton. John Gotti III fought for Triton Fights. Now he's with CES, and he went pro, and he's doing big things. But let's talk about the elephant in the room right now. Did you see the movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
Be honest. What did you think of it? Be honest.
So what I thought of it, I'm going to give it the honest take, and mind you, John Gotti is one of my good friends. You know what I mean? I think that
it sucked.
Which is the director, he tried to film it in a style where people weren't accustomed to mafia movies looking like, and I think that's why I got a bad review. I think that the content was solid.
Super chat.
Hold that thought. Super chat.
Guatemala makes 125-pound men. Where you find them?
What? I don't even know what he's saying there. Thank you now and later. I'm not sure what he's something about Guatemala, and I don't know. Anyway, so go back to what you were saying there.
Yeah, no. So I think that he shot it in a way where people were expecting The Godfather. They were expecting Goodfellas, Untouchables. You know, that's all shot in a certain style, and I think that's what people were expecting. You know, and I think that he tried to put his own twist on a mafia movie.
Yeah.
It just, you know, it didn't go over well. I thought that the writing was decent. You know, I wouldn't have maybe I wouldn't have taken the storyline the way that he did. It was a little blotchy in my opinion.
Yeah.
But overall, you know, I enjoyed the movie. I took Miss Ivy Cantos. She enjoyed the movie. She was crying at the end. You know, so. Yeah. You know, it was, you know, it hit home.
Did you play the popcorn trick at the movie theater? Did that happen? Yeah. All right, good. Sounds like a good time. Now, Chris Macchi live on the MMA-Holes weigh-ins tomorrow. Triton Fights is going down July 13th at the Space. Why should people tune in? How should people tune in?
Yeah, so we're on the Sports Live app on CBS Sports. We will be posting the link on Facebook and on Instagram. You can tune in there, or, you know, obviously 250 Post Avenue, Westbury, Long Island. There's no bad seat in that venue. You've been there before. You can attest to that. There's literally no bad seat unless you're sitting by the fog machine and it's blowing in your mouth like you were last time.
I almost died. I almost died. I got cancer.
I spoke to my partner. We're gonna switch that up for
all right. Hey, what's the odds we get Nick on the show? It seemed like he avoided the camera at all costs over here.
Yeah, he did, man. Because, you know,
we're gonna get him on.
Get roasted. I love it. You know, I
yeah.
think that I did it, you know, but you know, He doesn't like getting roasted.
Yeah, we'll try to drag him on. All right, so this is happening on Friday. We will be streaming live from the weigh-ins tomorrow. I can't wait for that, nice and early. And that is that. Now, the reality show, the event Friday, things are looking big for Triton Fights. We always like to ask, what do you see in the future of the organization? Is there any rumblings of going pro anytime soon, or are you going to stick with the AMI right now?
No, I mean, so we've just like, it's like a thing where it's like you like master what you're good at, and like I think that's the level that we're on, because we're the top level amateur show on the Northeast. You know, and that's something that I can say confidently, not conceitedly. You know, I just that's coming from a place of confidence.
Yeah.
Pro is definitely in the running. It's just we watched other people do it, and we saw a problem with the market where the cost and the profitability don't add up. And I think that the UFC cornered the market and made it like that. For guys like us to not be able to do it successfully. We have a lot. We have guys offering us $200,000, $500,000. You know what I mean? But it's just like it's at a point where it's like, do we want to take on other partners and it not be successful and it potentially cripple us in the end? So the bullets are in the gun per se. We're just waiting to pull that trigger. And when we do pull that trigger, I'm telling you right now, it will be something massive that the rest of the United States will be talking about. It's not just going to be the Northeast. We're going to get across the country. I mean, we already have guys hitting us up from Hawaii willing to fly themselves over here to compete AMI. So I can just imagine, what would happen on a pro level.
I tell you what, I actually believe it. Usually I would call bullshit if I smelled it, but I've seen the product, right? I've actually seen the product live, and you guys really put on a show. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing how it is an amateur promotion, and all I think is if it goes pro too, I mean, what is next? It seems like there's just so much potential with this company, so I'm 100% on board. I think you guys are doing a great job over there on Triton Fights. Now,
yeah, man.
What do you say? I want to take 2 phone calls. All right, I want to take 2 phone calls, and then we're going to shut this shit down. And I have a feeling that your friend is going to probably get involved in the phone call. So you down for 2 calls?
Let's bring her over here.
All right, let's have her
sit on put on rap music, she will start twerking.
Yeah, Jessie does that too. She's actually twerking right now. You just can't see it. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines. All right, bring her over there. There we go. Okay, 516-522-0267. Call. Get the fuck my man, Pots and Pans. Jessie, what do you think about that?
No comment.
All right, we got a phone call coming in.
Personality.
443, you're live with the MMA-Holes, Chris Macchi, and Boobs.
Hey, I just wanted to commend you on the success of your Triton Fights promotion and with the reality show and everything you got going on. Just a couple things, though. As you're continuing to move up with your success and everything, you should probably get your other half of your grill off of layaway, and you should probably upgrade the strippers that you get, because I know that $1K an hour is going to hit you a little bit in the pocket as you're moving up. $2K an hour is the way to do. Those bitches do a lot better. Have a good one.
Thank you, Jay. That was very nice of you. All right, so what do you say about that?
I don't even have a grill in right now.
Yeah, that grill is epic. Everyone loves the grill, and it's not there. I can't believe. How do you show up without the grill? Unbelievable.
What happened was I almost got in a street fight, and I threw it out of my mouth because I was gonna fight this kid. So I threw it on the ground. I don't know why, because I thought it was like the toughest thing ever to throw my grill on the ground to show him that I was really business. Someone ran it over with a fucking car.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not cool. That is not cool. All right, we're going to take one more call. 516-522-0267. Get in on the lines. Triton Fights is this weekend, July 13th, Friday night. It's going to be a banging card like usual. So come say hello. And look at that. We got waving over there. It's very nice. 516-522-0267. All right, so now no grill. So are you going to be getting a new grill anytime soon, or are you going to hold out?
Yeah, I'm gonna get fully encased diamond grill on diamond fangs.
That's pretty bad. I could never rock. Do you think Jessie? I think Jessie would look good in the grill.
Sure.
I agree. A mohawk, pink.
A mohawk. That's not a bad idea. What do you think about that?
All right, I'll go with
Do
both.
it.
Jessie's trying to get accustomed to New York, like the brash New York attitude. Like we're pretty
That's me.
out there, and yeah, and she's from Arizona, so it's like culture shock. What do you think about Chris Macchi? I mean, this is true New York right here. This is Long Island, Strong Island.
Proud of you.
He's proud. Look at those guns. It's the gun show. All right, we got 70 people watching. Make sure you tune into Triton Fights this weekend. All right, fuck the phone lines. Jay Smooth is the one that wanted to call in. He got his call. Whatever. All right, last words. Let's talk about Tiger Life, promotions, anything that sponsors. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, so we picked up some new sponsors again. Virtual Realms in Hicksville. You guys got to check that out. It's the evolution of arcading. So any heavy gamers, if you guys got any gamers, guys that like to go on Twitch, definitely check that out. It's in Hicksville, Long Island. It's fully immersive, 360 degree. You will feel like you are inside a video game. It was amazing. We have Tiger Life, as always, Tiger Life Energy. They're making a big push on the Northeast with a distribution deal. I can't talk about too many details, but hopefully soon you'll be seeing them in more 7-Elevens, gas stations, etc. Probably not grocery stores yet, but 7-Elevens, gas stations, point and shoot type of locations. Who else we got? We got Strike Force, the largest airsoft field in the Northeast. That's super dope too. It's like paintball, but more badass, I guess. We have a vape shop coming down too. So anybody that's unhealthy and still smoking cigarettes, like you're in the 50s or something like that, start vaping because nobody likes a stinky person.
There you go. And that's actually, I should start vaping. What do you think, Jesse?
Sure.
You look like a vapor, bro.
Yeah, I smoked for a while, and then I did the e-cigarettes for a little bit, and then I was like such a douche with it. But vaping sounds like fun. Nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. But I'm sure it's a great product. Chris, I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
You could go like vaping, and then like you can get like a dildo. So,
yeah, sure. That would be a good look. Yeah, we'll try that. What time are you gonna be at the event tomorrow?
I'll be at the weigh-ins. They start at 1 o'clock, so I'll be there at 10 o'clock, having anxiety attacks until all my fighters get in the building and make weight. But hopefully, God willing, that all happens and we have a good show and more boobs.
All right, boobies. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
All right, there is Chris Macchi coming on the MMA-Holes. This is the fight over here at Jarena versus Hall, the one to look out for, but there's a lot of good fights on this card. So stay tuned for that. And as the MMA-Holes call it, forehead. That's what they like to say. What do you guys think of... He said he was going to bring someone on, and he brought boobies on, Jesse. In true Long Island style, he brought on cans. Not impressed by her performance. No, she's not impressed. All right, what are your opinions on Chris Macchi? Let's go through the rest of the topics. This is the MMA-Holes. We do a lot of cringy shit over here. We talk about mixed martial arts. And we opened up the show talking about what is next for Khabib. But there are a couple more topics on the board. So let's run through those topics and open up the phone lines. Thank you for your donations. Appreciate it. This is TGIW. Check out the MMAHoles.com where it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Let's see what we got over here. Isaiah Moore chiming in. You can go check that out. We have nipples. Jesse's on the sauce. Jesse, how did they get that picture of you?
No clue. I thought it was hidden forever.
Uh-oh, Jesse on the fireball over here. Jesse, you're a hit with the memes. Shout out to Michael Anzalone actually fighting the clip of the Ghost. I don't know if he put it on over here, but check out Michael's channel. Michael is in the chat, and Mike actually found the Ghost clip where the Ghost attacked 2 times on the MMA-Holes. We actually had a Ghost 2 times. Now, Jesse, do you think that it is indeed a spirit?
Yes.
You do?
Sure.
What Ghost do you think it is? Is it Kimbo Slice?
Yes.
You think Kimbo Slice is knocking down the lamp and pulling our lights from the background?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Okay. All right, what else we got in the news?
Nothing.
Oh, no. That's it? That's all the news?
Mitrione versus Ryan Bader is set for Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix.
I knew there was something else over here. Matt Mitrione versus Ryan Bader. Who do you got? Bader. Who do you got, Bader or Mitrione? After Mitrione's performance against Big Country Roy Nelson, I got to go with Bader in this one. I have to. I wanted Mitrione to... I picked him in the beginning to win the tournament. And then after his last fight, I was like, no, I think I'm going to go with Chael Sonnen. Now, Matt Mitrione versus Ryan Bader. I'm going with Bader with this one. What do you think, Jesse?
Mitrione is unbeaten in 4 Bellator contests since June of 2016, so I'm going to go with Mitrione.
You got very low on the mic. I don't know why. Maybe it's... You just got very low. Is everything all right? Is it the boobs? Is it the boobs?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Wonderful.
So you're saying Mitrione, then I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right, so Matt Mitrione for the win. What do you guys say in the chat? We're going to open up the phone lines very shortly. We got 20 likes.
20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. I hope the dislikes die of leprosy.
Dislikes are dying of leprosy tonight, but thank you for the likes over there. 64 in the books, only 5 people losing their limbs. Matt Mitrione or Ryan Bader. Who you got? Even though that's big country over there. Let's see what we got over here. I hope they both knock each other out. Says Drunk Savage. I'd be down with that. That girl is dog shit compared to Jesser, says Cookie Wise. What do you think about that, Jesser?
Thank you, Cookie Wise.
Jesser. By forehead. Competition. Meathead, cause he's bigger, says Cole Vic. And we found out that size does not matter when it comes to mixed martial arts, but Meathead could get the win. JBH might get implants. Jessie, are you going to get some implants for the MMA Holes?
Absolutely. Tomorrow is going to be a different Jessie.
Could you imagine, like, we just go, MMA-Holes, coming in, and Jessie, like, bang! She's got, like, fucking torpedoes coming out. She turns around on her chair, takes me out. Now, I am not an implant person. I don't know what the chat thinks about implants. But, oh, look, the ghost at Chris's house is here. There you go. Now, is that the ghost at Chris's house? Is that the original? That might be the original ghost at Chris's house. That might be the original one.
I know who it is.
Okay, you know what it is? You always know who it is. All right,
I do.
so,
You told me.
Huh?
I know who that is.
Okay, well, and I said you always know who it is.
No, I actually know who that is. I don't need a trophy.
Here's your trophy. I love this trophy. It comes in handy. Implants were 1990. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not down with implants. I don't think. I don't know. Good for you. Implants were 1990. In Bellator, size matters because you could be juicing and big, says Cole Vic. I'll be there, daddies. Now, if you are on the East Coast, come by. Say hello. Triton Fights. Now, I know Daniel Murphy said he'll be back for this event. So, Daniel, get ready. We're dragging you on the show. It's going to be wonderful, wonderful. Richie Reed's got the fucking ghost. Woo! Boogie, woogie, woogie. I want to fucking kill myself. All right, here are the topics. This is what I want you to do. Get ready to open up the phone lines. Matt Mitrione versus Ryan Bader. Khabib, who is next? UFC Boise. I think Dan from Oregon's going to UFC Boise. So if you're going to UFC Boise, let me know what you think about that and how excited you are. Daniel Cormier, is he the GOAT? And I went on a whole rant about Daniel Cormier beating the GOAT. I do believe he is the GOAT. I have a lot of good reasons for it, and I'm always right. Here's Ross's identity. And talk about whatever you would like, because we are going to take this 24 more minutes. And actually, no, we're going to take it another half hour because we started late. So let's open up the phone lines. Let's get a little crazy. Let's have some fun on the MMA Holes. Now, if you're new to this and you have not subscribed yet, fuck you. Subscribe. Drop it in the box at 12,000. We let the dragons loose. What do we let out, Jess?
The dragons.
The dragons. All right, we let the dragons loose at 12K. Keep liking this shit at 80. We do the 20 likes. Let's go, motherfuckers. And hold on a second. Let's see. Now, if our last video gets 1,000 views, right, that would be 7 videos in a row that we hit 1,000 views. All right. So right now on this video, and this is our Contender Series reaction, we are at 956. So we are very close to getting 1,000 on this video over here. This is unbelievable. The MMA Holes, if we get 1,000 on this and 1,000 on the video that is happening right fucking now where we have 75. This is wrong, 67. We have 75 people watching. If we get 1,000 on this, that means 8 videos in a row where we're 1,000 plus. And over here, our Fight Buddies, we got almost 80,000 views on it. Fucking Fight Buddies, we are on fire. We are hitting our stride right now. We are taking over the world of YouTube, and it is wonderful, wonderful. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, because this show is live 3 times a week. Cringy donations, cringy chat room, cringy hosts over here. Apparently racist as well. It's worth it. Jessie, why should people subscribe to the MMA Holes?
For every reason you just said, and boobies.
Look into that camera right over there. Stare right into their fucking soul. The people, now we have 75 people watching. You look into that camera, and I know there's like 2 or 3 people that aren't subscribed. I need you to fucking get up on that mic, look at them, Look at them right in the eyes and talk some fucking sense into these people. Talk
But
some
you already
goddamn
explained
sense.
every reason they should subscribe. I'd be the echo.
No, but you have a vagina and I have a penis.
So?
So it
I
doesn't.
don't have implants.
What's with the booby thing?
They all just mentioned implants.
All right, well, that's the chat room.
Your point? That's who we're talking to.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They don't. They know they don't matter.
Oh, okay, so we're talking to air.
It's all about you and me. All right, or maybe not. All right. What the fuck? What is happening? All right. Anyway, 66 likes. Thank you for the likes. Let's open up the phone lines. This should be good. 516-522-0267 is the number. I want to know about Triton fights. I'm sure you have some great things to say about that. This weekend, UFC Boise, which I think is a complete stacked card. I really do think it's a good card for a fight night. And I want to talk about Khabib, who's next for Khabib. I want to talk about Daniel Cormier. A lot of people still want to talk about this. Brian Ortega, the coont. Look at this shit over here. We didn't even talk about this shit yet. I'm stopping the phone lines. I have a lot to say. Now, I am not a fighter. I know that. I am not a fighter. I don't compete. I have nothing but respect for the people that step inside the cage because I've stepped inside the cage and I've seen how crazy that shit is. The people that compete are goddamn celebrities. I may have this trophy, but if you step inside an octagon, a circle gun, any type of cage, inside ropes and compete for a living or are trying to get in there, even at the amateur level, I have nothing but respect. So when we joke around over here, it's all in good fun. I have nothing but respect. But let's talk about this. Let's be disrespectful for a second. All right. Ortega now wants to fight for the vacant title at
I'm gonna
UFC
wrap one on one
227.
shoulder. I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder.
Vlad.
And you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
JBH is to shamming or trolling. Let's get a poll going. Lol.
Both, Vlad. I'm doing both.
Yeah. So what is happening? Is that what's happening?
Both.
You're tit shaming
And trolling.
and trolling.
You caught me, Vlad.
Thank you, Vlad, for the donation. Ortega now wants to fight for the vacant title at UFC 227. Okay. He said on Ariel's show that Dana White wasn't happy because he wouldn't take the Jeremy Stevens fight. And I said that if there was an interim title offered to him, that he should take the fight, right? And even if it wasn't offered to him, he should have came back to Dana White and be like, put the fucking interim title there and I'll fight. Now, he says no. And UFC 227, who's he going to fight?
Who the fuck is that guy?
That's who he's going to fight. Jeremy Stevens. That's who he's going to fight. So he turns down the fight for UFC 226, and like Mystic Moss predicted, and it's ridiculous. Jessie,
What?
I can't take it anymore. I am so right. It's ridiculous. Why was it was amazing that my parents gave me the birth name Mystic, right? It's unbelievable. It's like they see these things, that they named me Mystic, and they were like, Mystic, you're going to get all your predictions right. And I said that he should have taken this fight because what's going to happen? He's not going to fight Holloway. He's going to fight Jeremy Stevens anyway. So why not fight him for the big payday? Take the interim strap and call it a day. Ortega wants to fight at UFC 227. Now, the card needs him. I think it is better for us if you drop this fight on that card because if you look at the schedule, you look at UFC 227, it's some good cards in between. It's now the card is not completely done, and you got Gustafsson versus Ozdemir on here, which is a good fight, really, really good fight, and some decent fights turning out on this card. But I want to see 3 belts because we have rematch, So let's see Ortega versus Stevens on this card, and we went from a good card to a fucking banging card once again. So I think it's going to happen. I think Ortega will take Stevens. He will fight Stevens for the interim strap or the vacated title. I don't know what's going to happen because we don't know the deal with Max Holloway right now. Hopefully he's okay. Now, like you said, Jessie, Max Holloway, what are they saying now? It's water? It's tainted water?
They were saying it was water poisoning. He was consuming too much water during his weight cut, and it is now water poisoning.
Water poisoning.
But it's speculation. I have no idea if it's true.
Something's not right. Something's not... I don't know. It sounds like he got a concussion. Like, all right, we're going to say it's water poisoning now. All right, Max? That's what we're going to say. And he's like, okay, boss, we're going to do that. It is what it is. Right? That's what Max Holloway is doing over there. I don't know. All I know is I hope Max Holloway is healthy, and I hope he can come back in a healthy form because you know he has some left in the tank. Now, what do you think about this, Jess? On this card, what do you think about the whole Ortega situation? Now, I know you thought he made the right move over there, and it is what it is, right? As Holloway says, move on. Now he goes to the next event. Do you think that Ortega should hang around and wait for Holloway, or should he take the fight at 227 against Jeremy Stephens?
These fighters are clued in by a team of people, so it's not like Ortega has no idea what's going on. Obviously, someone had to have found out what was going on with Max Holloway. He had to have found out that Max Holloway wasn't coming back anytime soon. Whether he's coming back or not, it's not going to be anytime soon. So I think Ortega and his team got together. I think they sort of talked it out and figured out what was going to be the best option for him. And right now, his best option would be UFC 227. I think the reason he didn't fight UFC 226 was not because he was scared, but I think he was waiting for answers. And now that he has answers, he's going to take the next step. He's going to do whatever's best for him. Pulling out of 226 was probably one of the smartest things he could have done.
All right. So, Jessie, we're completely on the opposite sides of the fence. Where are you standing on this topic over here? We're going to open up the phone lines right now.
The cumin.
516-522-0267. I want to know what you think. We heard Jay Smooth called in on this, but we missed a lot of other MMA holes. What do you think about this? And I would love to talk about this because it's fascinating, right? When does a fighter... And they should have a right to say no to a fight. And the one thing I will agree with is I feel the UFC pushes their fighters too far. I feel they do that. So in that aspect, I do agree with you. Dana White is very pushy, and he throws his fighters out there. This guy he's undefeated, right? He's a stud. Maybe they're pushing him a little too hard, but here we go. The voice of reason. Kenshiro Ryu live on the MMA Holes. What's up, Kenshiro?
So... did they actually offer Ortega interim belt versus Jeremy? Because they didn't offer it to Frankie when he fought Ortega, you know?
So what I'm gathering is this. I don't think they did offer it, but my rebuttal was, why didn't Ortega say, throw the interim strap out there? And you know, if they didn't, that the UFC would have been like, okay, here you go. You know that would have happened. You know, why didn't Ortega counter with the interim strap? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. So...
yeah, he should have countered, but if the UFC rejected him, then he can reject it and still look good in front of the fans. No one would blame him.
True. True.
So Ortega kind of messed up. Ortega, he jumped the gun a little bit. Decided he was going to run shit when he's basically a nobody.
You know, and he's not a household name yet, right? Like, we know who he is. We know, and the Frankie Edgar fight, you know, maybe that got more eyeballs on him. But when you really think about it, I don't think the casual fan is a big Ortega. You know, they don't know much about Ortega right yet. You know, they might have missed a couple of the fights in between. And we know that Ortega is the real deal, right? And this guy is a possible champion.
I still don't know who he is. I saw him beat up like two old guys at 145.
So now, I do think Holloway beats him, right? I do think that, but honestly, I don't think it doesn't even matter anymore. I don't think Holloway's going to fight him. So if Holloway's not in the picture, who else is out there that could really take out Ortega? Do you think Jeremy Stephens can do it?
Probably, because Jeremy is not a broken old man.
Mm-hmm. Kenshiro, do you want me to get subtitles? Because Cookie Wise wants subtitles for you. Should I get that for you?
If it helps, I'm sure.
I understand you. Anyway. All right, Ken, thanks for the call, man. Hey, are you coming to Triton fights or what? Get your ass over there.
I don't have a babysitter. Well,
Bring
you
the
have
little
to
guy.
wait until my kid is like 12 and I can leave him at home.
All right. We'll probably still be doing this, so sure. All right, I'll see you then.
Later.
I think Ken would be fun. Imagine an event with this guy. This loony.
Pass.
You don't imagine that. All right, 516-522-0267. Get in on the lines. Love to know what you think about the Ortega situation. I would love to know what you think about UFC 227. I would love to know what you think about, well, the Contender Series. You can talk about that, too. You can talk about anything you like over here on the MMA Holes. The Pick'em League being finished. No more Pick'em League. That is insanity. The fights this weekend. UFC Boise. A lot of shit to talk about tonight. TGIW. Fucking UFC Pick'em League is gone. Unfucking believable. Could you believe that?
I can't. As I said in the beginning, it makes me sad to think about.
Well,
we have a huge community there.
This is why I love doing these streams, right? because we try to think of every angle, right? And then we go live, we start talking about it, and then someone in the chat will come up with something and be like, "Fuck, how the hell did I not think of that?" You know? And Steve Johnson just did that with the ESPN. It's a given. UFC Pick'em's going to ESPN. All right. 814, you're live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name? What's on your minds?
Chris, I don't think the question we should be asking is who Khabib's going to be fighting next.
Yeah.
I think there's a much more important fight that we should be worried about.
Okay. And I think I have an idea. By the way, did you get a microphone or something? Your voice is very clear.
I did not.
No. All right. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me put the picture on before you say it. Hold on a second. Hold on a second over here. I'm going to put the picture. Now, I know you've called the show before, and you have a gift for calling the show. But who is this person that you speak of?
Derek Lewis.
What? Derek the Black Beast Lewis. Holy shit. Threw a curveball at me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jessie, what do you think about that call?
I feel that the MMA-Holes should be honored to receive a call, yet another call from
yeah.
the gift.
The gift. Gillespie? But no, it was a Black Beast.
No, it was a gift.
It was the gift? That was a gift call. All right. Some of the OG MMA-Holes might know what just happened there. Some of the other new people are probably like, what in God's name just happened? What in God's name just happened? But we'll have an explanation maybe for you guys down the road. Triton Fights is Friday. We'll be covering that stuff, so make sure you come by. Say hello. July 13th at the Space. And it's going to be wonderful, wonderful. And the Pick'em League, now with the Pick'em League being gone, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, do we finish the league up? Well, hold on a second. What the fuck? Why can't I find... Oh, there we go. I got a million things open over here. I need to get my shit together. So, basically, if you're just jumping in, you don't know about this. Richie Reed says, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
If you don't know about the Pick'em League being done, we're going to wind it down, and we're going to still do a final Pick'em. So keep playing. We're going to do all the events up to UFC 227. We're going to keep on doing it. We're going to give out the wristbands, and we're going to keep going to the very, very end of this shit. So make sure you get your picks in for each and every fight until UFC 227. Maybe we'll do something special for UFC 227. I don't know. Well, maybe the first two or something. The first two winners. I don't know. We're going to talk about something, get something done since it will be shut down. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Is there anything standing out in this card, Jessie? The Dos Santos versus Ivanov. Saved by the Bell. 773, you're live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name? What's on your mind?
Daniel Cormier. I didn't know he was a dirty fighter. I was going to give him a pass for the towel cheating to get the weight advantage, but poking in eyes and clawing at Stipe's face with the open palms, that was dirty, man. That was real dirty.
So are you calling Daniel Cormier a cheater?
Well, he is a cheater. He cheated with the towel. That's a proven cheat.
Mm-hmm.
He's been wrestling his whole life. He knew exactly what he was doing with that towel.
Do you think that Daniel Cormier, what he did was worse than John Jones?
Well, what, steroid cheat? Hell no. Steroid cheat's way worse, but a cheater's a cheater either way.
So according to you, he is not the greatest of all time?
No way. GSP is the greatest of all time.
All right. Even though GSP lost to Matt Sarah?
Right.
Okay.
GSP is the great. Then Fedor.
Then Fedor. All right. Thanks for the call. Guys, who is the GOAT? Let me know who is the greatest of all time. Jessie, now we've asked you before, and we've been beating this dead horse, but I think it's an interesting conversation. They asked Ronda Rousey, right? TMZ found Ronda Rousey, and she's like, there's no such thing as the greatest of all time. You know, Ronda Rousey talks like that?
She said there's the greatest of right now.
The greatest of right now. Which is... makes sense. She's Ronda Rousey. This is what I've noticed with Ronda Rousey. She's fucking annoying, right? And I was a big Ronda Rousey fan. All the way up. Big fan. And then the way she handled the losses, it drove me fucking nuts. It drove me absolutely nuts. And she goes to WWE, and then we say, well, good for you, Ronda Rousey. That's a great job over there. You're doing big things. You're moving on, and congrats to Ronda Rousey. And then you see her interviewed, and she just pulls this temper tantrum shit or answers questions like sarcastically, but it's not even funny. It's cringy. And she was like, there's no such thing as the greatest of all. Maybe they're thinking that she should be the greatest of all time. I don't know.
Maybe she wanted to be the greatest of all time, and since she didn't have that opportunity because she fucked up, now she's jealous of anyone else who has the title of greatest of all time.
She's so irritating. She's so irritating. It's amazing that Brown has held on as long as he has. I mean, maybe it's because she's got some cash in the pocket.
She cried on Ellen, and then she said that during her loss, she wanted to lose her, like have a mental breakdown, and then she looked up at Travis and thought to herself, I have to have this man's babies, and that's why she didn't have a mental breakdown.
She might be the first woman that ever said that to Travis Brown. Right? I don't think anyone's ever looked at Travis Brown and be like, oh,
well,
Sasquatch.
That says a lot about Ronda, doesn't it?
Yeah. She's like, hey, Travis, I want to have your babies. Fucking Ronda Rousey. So it's so ridiculous. And she was saying there's no greatest. I'm paraphrasing, but what did she exactly say? Do you remember?
She said there's no greatest of all time because of all time would mean that they are the greatest fighter that will ever and has ever existed. There is a greatest of right now because fighters and the greatest change all the time. So yes, DC is the greatest of right now, but she doesn't think there is a greatest of all time.
I disagree. Right? DC gets the 2 belts, and now the discussion comes into play. And everyone likes to say who's the greatest of all time, right? There's no such thing as the greatest of right now. There's no such thing as that. At this moment, we can make a decision. If you put it on the table and say who's the greatest of all time, as of this moment, who is the greatest of all time? It's not the greatest of right now. You can't say that because then if you say the greatest of right now, you can't go back into history and pick anyone else. You could just pick anyone that's active right now, right? That makes no fucking sense.
Ronda Rousey, let's just use her theory for a minute. And I'm not saying
you do it in Ronda's voice?
I'm not saying I agree with Ronda Rousey, but let's just use her theory, right? Let's say it's right, and there is no greatest of all time, and there's a greatest of right now, and DC is the greatest of right now. Or let's say, no, you know what? Let's say he's the greatest of all time, right? But then someone else comes along 10 years down the road who ends up being better than DC. And now he's the greatest of all time. Is DC still the greatest of all time?
People get dethroned. I think the greatest of all time gets a crown.
But it's not
dead or alive.
all time. So she does make sense in that aspect. It
You
is
can't
of
say
right now.
But then there's no such thing as the greatest of all time.
Exactly.
She's
That's
saying
where
there's
she's coming from.
there's no such thing. So you could
I'm
never
not saying I
say
agree with
that
her.
someone's the greatest of all
I'm
time.
just saying her logic makes
stupid.
a little bit of sense.
It doesn't, because Muhammad Ali, right? To me, when you look at boxers, Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. Pulse Reloaded says the same fucking thing. Look, we're on the same page, Pulse. Look at that. Let's go kill some people together. Greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. But in her opinion, you can't say that because right now it's whoever, I don't know, it's whoever the fuck is fighting right now.
She says DC is the greatest of right now.
Floyd Mayweather or Golovkin, Triple G is the greatest right now. There's no such thing as the greatest of right now. It's the greatest of all time. That's how I look at it. Or you can have two different discussions. You can't say there's no such thing.
Did you once think that Conor McGregor was the GOAT?
I did it to start conversation.
Or did you legitimately believe Conor McGregor was the GOAT?
Oh, I don't want to give away my secrets.
Well,
so I'm not
using
answer
this
that.
as a point. Okay, so let's just say you did.
I'm an antagonist.
All right, let's just say theoretically, you thought Conor McGregor was the GOAT at one point.
No.
Now let's just say theoretically.
Okay.
All right? Theoretically, at one point, you thought Conor McGregor was the GOAT. Now, theoretically, you think... Now, I don't know if this is right or not, but you think DC is the GOAT. So, in that sense, Conor McGregor is no longer the GOAT.
If I drop dead right now, DC is the greatest of all time.
If you drop dead right now.
Yes.
10 years down the road when you've been dead for 10 years.
I can't say who the greatest of all time is. I could never say it according to that logic.
Yeah, in Ronda's logic, you can only say Conor was the greatest of then, DC is the greatest of now.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense.
Someone could be the greatest of later.
That's so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
To take away a fan's right to say who's the greatest of all time.
You're on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Michael Jordan was the greatest of his time, not of all time. Ronda Rousey logic. Dumb cunt got flatlined by a kickboxer with a limited MMA career.
That's the harsh truth right there.
There you go.
From Vlad. I'm telling you, he's on point. And Michael Jordan is the greatest of all
Isaiah
time.
Moore, I agree. Now, I'm not saying I agree with Ronda's logic. I don't back it in any way, but it makes sense. And Isaiah Moore has said it himself. It makes sense. And the only reason
Doesn't make any sense.
Listen, the only reason I say this is because the only people who will think that does not make sense are the people who just don't want there to not be a GOAT.
Who is Ronda Rousey's? Why does Ronda Rousey get the right to say, you are not allowed to say the greatest of all time?
Why do you have the right to say you're not allowed to say the greatest of right now?
Because here's the thing. As fans, we observe a sport and we like to put people on a pedestal, right?
You don't think she's a fan of MMA?
That's what she's. Don't do me, okay? I do me. You put.
That doesn't make sense.
You put your athlete on a pedestal, and that's what we get.
She's
right?
a Hall of Famer.
So who is she?
She's an athlete on a pedestal.
She's a Hall of Famer. She's a Hall of Famer.
Is an athlete
okay,
on a
you
pedestal.
want to play this game? I was the biggest Ronda Rousey supporter, and I said she broke down doors. She broke down barriers for women's MMA. But if you want to get technical here, if you want to look at who Ronda Rousey beat, is she really that good? You can pose that argument. You can pose that argument, and you can tear Ronda's legacy apart. Why would she open up the door to being a cunt, right? And let's be honest, she is a cunt.
Well,
She's opening the door to be a cunt, and now we're going to pick apart Ronda Rousey. Maybe she wants the attention, but that's what she's doing. Keep your mouth shut and answer the question. If someone comes up to you and says, who is the greatest of all time, you say who the greatest of all time is.
Because Mystic Moss creates all
Because I say so! And I'm wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let's open up the phone lines as we wind this thing down. 516-522-0267. Let me know what you think in the chat. Do you take Ronda's side? Do you think there should be a greatest of all time? And
I'm indifferent.
So
I'm indifferent. I think there should be a GOAT. 100%. I think there should be a GOAT. I think that the MMA community, I think that as an MMA fan, there should always be a greatest of all time. On that same token, I think that her logic does make sense to a certain extent. I just don't agree with it.
218, you're live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name? What's on your minds?
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Hi, Isaiah.
Welcome to the show.
What does the greatest of all time really mean?
The greatest of all time. So it's the greatest person. So say for the UFC, it is the greatest athlete to step inside of the octagon. All things taken into consideration. Not just one thing, but all things taken into consideration is the greatest of all time in my book.
That's where it gets tricky, because when you get that complex, subjectivity is kind of going to overshadow everything else. I mean, like I said in the comment, you could say DC or GSP or DJ is the greatest of all time, and you won't really have a wrong answer, because there's different ways to measure it, and everybody, it's subjective like art is. So
I agree.
And that's the beauty of the conversation, though, right?
But I get what you're saying too, that everybody should have the right to have an opinion and pick somebody to be the greatest, and that makes perfect sense. I think Ronda was, I didn't follow it 100%, but I think it was kind of compartmentalized what she was saying. That I don't know what the fuck she said.
Yeah, it was on TMZ.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, it was on TMZ. Actually, we could pull the... I don't know what you're talking about. No, check it out. It's on TMZ. We'll play the clip right now. And thank you for the call.
It made sense a little bit to some degree when I...
I get what you're saying, Isaiah. I get what you're saying.
Let's play the clip right now. All right. We need... You know what we need right now? We need Chris Macchi to call back in and get the girl's opinion with the boobies. I'm sure she has a lot of intelligent things to say. See, we're on the topic. Anyway, and this is what I'm taking about the Ronda Rousey thing. Ronda Rousey's bringing back slavery. That's what she's doing right there. By saying that we can't talk about the greatest of all time. She's bringing back slavery. And I don't think she should do that. She's taking everything away from Martin Luther King and Susan B. Anthony. All right, let's find the clip. Everyone's like, what?
Wonderful.
All right, let's look over the MMAHoles.com. Do we have the... let's look on TMZ. All right, I'm going to find this thing over here. Let's see what's up in the chat. Jesse, what's going on in the chat? We're going to take this, a couple more calls, wind this thing down. We're going to talk about what Ronda Rousey said on TMZ. Let's see.
Jay Smooth says, he's high as fuck. I'm proud of him. Vlad says, Chris opening up that wound again. LOL. Isaiah Moore says, I'm the greatest of all time. Phuket. Jordan Spanier says, Royce Gracie beat 250-pounders at 160 pounds. If GSP not the GOAT, Gracie is. Jared Smallbones says GSP, Anderson Silva, John Jones, DJ, DC, Connor, Stipe, all great fighters. Pro Tool says, where's JBH sleeping? Where are you sleeping, Pro Tool?
All right, here we go. Thank you for the comments over here. We're going to play this clip. This is on TMZ. All right, TMZ, they caught Ronda Rousey, and they want to know about the greatest of all time. A couple of questions over here. Let's listen to this.
All right, so we got to ask, you just got inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
First woman.
She got inducted in the UFC Hall of Fame, and rightfully so, right? I think Ronda Rousey should deservingly be part of the UFC Hall of Fame. I'm not trying to take anything away from Ronda Rousey. It's just her attitude fucking sucks.
What message do you got for young women out there?
All right, message that Ronda Rousey has for young women, and she is, I mean, she's the face of women's MMA. She literally is the face of women's MMA. So let's see what she has to say.
This is huge.
Don't take no for an answer.
Don't take no for an answer. And Dana White did say no, right? He says you cannot come to the UFC, and Ronda Rousey says yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It really wasn't that crazy.
You gonna go after like a WWE Hall of Fame here?
I don't know. That's up to them. I think that would have to
Smoker voice.
put in a whole lot more work to be deserving of, an honor like that.
But that's where
WWE Hall of Fame. We're talking Hall of Fame. She just started, she's been doing it for a month.
your spirit's at. You're going for it. You're going full blast, right?
We'll see. I'm trying my best. The best I can do is the best I can do.
That's right.
Everyone's talking about this Brock Lesnar face-off with Daniel Cormier, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, in your book, one comes from one world, one comes from the other. Both great fighters. Who do you think wins that?
So she's asked, who will win, Brock Lesnar or Daniel Cormier? Who do you think wins?
Daniel Cormier.
Daniel Cormier for the win.
Professional opinion.
Both guys, both of them are friends of mine, so I
got the friends of mine. When did she start talking like this? They're both friends of mine. Yeah! Ronda Rousey, what do you think about Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Cormier?
both guys, both of them are friends of mine, so I really don't want to pick sides, but
I said she's friends. She's friends with both of them, so she's not taking sides.
I can't get involved on that one, but yeah, that one will be hard to watch. I probably won't watch it.
She's not gonna watch it because they're both friends.
It'll be hard to watch.
Really?
I hate watching friends of mine fight.
Really? She sounds like a weed whacker. She's like. Ronda Rousey, what do you think about Brock Lesnar and DZ? That was a pretty good weed whacker, I gotta say.
That was actually really good. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I've been practicing my weed whacker.
That's interesting too, because you're like, oh, every punch is like bad.
Yeah, you're not happy about anything, so I'm not gonna do it.
I gotta know. Some people want to know: is Daniel Cormier the GOAT right now?
Is Daniel Cormier the GOAT right now? Now, this is Ronda Rousey's reaction. Like, she's looking, she's like, did this motherfucker say GOAT? How dare you say GOAT? Let's see what Ronda Rousey says.
I mean, there's saying right now and GOAT is kind of contradictory because one says all time and one.
Okay, all right, hold on a second. She's saying right now and GOAT. So is he the GOAT right now? It's kind of contradictory. Mm-hmm. So when can you say it?
No, she's saying right now because the guy asked, is he Cormier the GOAT right now?
As of this moment.
Yeah, so she's saying, well, by asking that question, you're contradicting yourself because GOAT is all time and right now is right now.
Why can't she answer the question?
Because she's a semantic
person.
A cunt. She's a semantical person.
One means right now, so it doesn't make sense to be the GOAT right now.
It doesn't make sense to be the GOAT right now. So when are we supposed to ask you, you snarl-faced, weed-whacking voice motherfucker? So when are you supposed to ask the question? That would be my follow-up. I would be like, excuse me, Rhonda? When would you like me to answer this question? You want me to answer you tomorrow or next week? Fucking idiot. How dare you?
Do you think he's the greatest then?
Do you think Daniel Cormier is the greatest?
Right now, yeah, like he's.
Right now, Daniel Cormier is the greatest. That's what she's saying.
He's the best in the game right now.
He's the best in the game right now, but you're not allowed to say that he's the GOAT because it's right now.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. The
that's
most well-rounded, Olympic team captain.
All right, we don't need to hear her anymore. She said what she had to say. All right, so let me know what you guys think of the chat, Jess. Now that we heard exactly what she said there, I guess you still have the same opinion, right? What you were saying before, did anything sway?
Yeah, I've said it before. I'm indifferent to the situation, this particular situation. In my personal opinion, I do think we shouldn't get rid of GOAT. It doesn't fucking matter whether it's right now or of all time. The GOAT is the GOAT. So Daniel Cormier is the GOAT.
Now, when are you allowed to ask the question?
What do you mean?
Like, who is the GOAT? Because you can't ask it right now.
Why can't you ask it right now?
Well, Ronda said you can't. You're not allowed to.
It doesn't fucking matter what Ronda says.
The Weed Whacker speaks, and when the Weed Whacker speaks, we listen. All right, we're going to take one more phone call over here, and let's see if the knitter can get in. We were just talking about Ronda Rousey on TMZ. And, let's see what your thoughts are on this whole situation. 516-522-0267. If you have not liked this video, what are you waiting for? We'll see you tomorrow morning, actually in a couple hours. Tomorrow morning.
503, you're live with the MMA-Holes. What is your name? Where are you from? And what is on your mind?
It's Ann H, the knitter.
Ann H. How are you tonight, Ann H?
Hello. I'm good. How are you, Jessie?
I'm doing swell. Did you watch the entire show from beginning to end?
Yes.
Yes. And what are your thoughts? What's on your mind, Ann H?
Well, I'm sad that the UFC picked him. Actually, I'm very upset that it's going away.
I agree. What do you suggest we do about this?
A lot of people are kind of starting a campaign on Twitter.
Yeah?
I don't know if it's going to do any good.
Would you pay for the Pick'em League? Would you, say if it goes over to ESPN and all right, sorry, you have to pay I don't know, $5 a month to have a Pick'em League. Would you actually pay for it?
I'm cheap.
Yeah, me too.
Not any cheap, but why should I have to pay more money?
It's ridiculous.
The other one was free. So I wouldn't pay.
It makes me angry.
Fair.
And how much do we have to pay for here, right? How much money a month do you dish out, right? And you're smart. You go to the bar to watch it, right? So the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So, but how much money
but sometimes we don't, but most of the time we do, yes.
It's crazy. How much money a month, how much money a year do you think you spend on the UFC if you really think about it?
If person's a pay-per-view, it's usually for, 65 it is, I think now?
It's crazy. It really is crazy. Yeah, 65 a month, 78. I don't know what taxes. We get standard definition, so it's 62 with the, I don't know. But you have to pay for Fight Pass, and it's just how many more things you have to pay for here? You can't just give us the Pick'em League. I don't know what the reasoning is for it is, but we'll find out by the end of the year. I'm sure they're going to do something with this. But
they took away those prizes that they used to give out too. So
Well, we will be brainstorming on a way to do something on the MMAHoles.com. So if you're not part of the MMAHoles.com, it sucks for you. But we're going to try to do something over there.
For you.
Maybe we can get something going. We had 8 pages of people playing with this thing, and I think if we can get something going on that website with a Pick'em League, it will take over the world.
Yeah, because it's fun. It gets people interactive, and like I said, a lot of my friends on Twitter and people, have competitions, and it's fun. And some of them are probably going to do like you're going to do, do their own thing. So
see what happens.
Hopefully, and then some people are putting out some other ones that are out there. But I go, but it's not the same thing. It's only mains, and it's not probably free either.
No, it isn't the same thing, but we'll see what happens. All right, and what do you think about the card this weekend coming up? Dos Santos versus Ivanov.
Not too bad for a free, card, not pay-per-view. So always excited about that.
The real question is, where will you be watching this one?
At home.
At home with Mike H. Nude, or are you gonna be doing some nude watching?
Nah.
Pants or no pants? Pantsless
Maybe
night.
Throwing back some beers, but not nude watching. No.
All right. Well, fair enough. Beer will be. Well, if you have enough beer, you never know, Ann. You never know.
That's.
All right, Ann. Thank you for the call, and hopefully, we can get a couple more pick'em games out of this and have a little bit more fun until UFC 227. We'll figure out something else to do. Any last words to the MMA Holes?
Just want to say, love you guys.
We love you,
guys' show. Love the MMA Holes. So,
we love you very much.
What can I say?
All right, Ann. Thanks for the call. Shout out to Jessie. All right, thanks, Ann. NH calling in. Is that I Am So Damn Black or is that just black? I don't know. I Am So Damn Black. Did you change your name? Let me see. Go to channel. Whoops. Is that our friend I Am So Damn Black? Is that you in the chat? I see it's the same avatar, but it's just black now. You're not so damn black anymore. You're just black. I hope it is. If that's I Am So Damn Black, that could officially be the oldest viewer inside. One of the first names I remember seeing in the chat rooms was I Am So Damn Black. That was one of the first people I used to see in that little chat.
I remember I Am So Damn Black. I used
Been
to have
around
conversations with him in the chat room.
New Zealand. From New Zealand. And, man, he's been around forever. I don't know if it's the same person. But if it is, welcome back. All right. That's about it. We're going to be wrapping this up. Tomorrow we'll be live. In a couple of hours, actually, we're going to be live for weigh-ins for Triton Fights. And then we're going to be at the event Friday. No Fuko Friday. So feel free to donate. Feel free to donate whenever the fuck you want. Saturday, we'll be doing Fight Buddies for this event over here. Dos Santos versus Ivanov. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't slapped that like button, do it right now because it just makes us smile over here. Jesse, another successful show in the books. Last words to the MMA holes.
Don't be an a-hole, be an MMA hole.